Division 6, Region 24 between the Delphos St. John Blue Jays and Ansonia. Now, the Blue Jays come to the ball game tonight. They are perfect on the season, 12-0, and Sonia comes in with a record of 9-3, and we know the rest. St. John's has won 41 straight high school football games. They've won 2 straight state championships, Division 6 high school football, and they just keep on a rolling. Speaking of rolling, with me this week on the sidelines, as always, Scott Stiles, and to my right, the head football coach for the Ottawa Glandorf Titans, nice enough to join us here on this Saturday night, Mr. Ken Schreiner. Pre-game show is being brought to you by the St. Rita's Medical Center, the region's leader in medical care. From our sports medicine walk-in clinics to 24-hour express and emergency care, that is why there's St. Rita's. Ken, Western Buckeye League, I know, but we got the St. John Blue Jays here from the MAC tonight. And Sonia comes in, and one thing we know about Ansonia is it's a very small school, but what do we know in terms of in football?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you look at these guys out here on the field, it looks like David and Goliath. David over here is Delphos. They're big. They look very physical. I haven't had the opportunity to watch them a whole lot this year other than the Fox games, and then Ansonia down here on the other end. You know, they just got to do some crazy things tonight, and hopefully they can compete and stay in the ball game.
Obviously, you've faced some opponents where you were in the situation that Ansonia is in tonight. How do you approach a game like this?
Well, I think the big thing is, first of all, you try and do the things that have gotten you to this point, and that's probably the most important thing. But I think, secondly, you've got to be a little bit unpredictable. You know, you've got to try and break away from the things that you've done at times. You know, whatever it takes, you got to win the ball game. You know, the loser goes home, the loser stays home. So, you know, take some chances and try and get the job done tonight.
Scott, over 90 players on this Blue Jay roster. That's with the freshmen dressing as well. 34 on the Ansonia roster.
And I have a feeling after tonight's game you're going to see all 90 players for Delphos play, because it's just one of those games. They're on a mission. They're steamrolling everybody, and I don't look for that to stop tonight. I look for another steamroll by Delphos going into the state semifinals next week.
Let me bring one more thing up. Ken, you've had a chance to come over and play on this field. What do you think of Salina Stadium and the field?
Well, the field's in great shape. I think the field looks dynamite. You know, it looks like we got a little bit of rain earlier. It might be a little bit slick, but as far as missing turf and divots in the field, it looks like it's in real good shape, so the footing should not be a problem.
Okay, we are ready to go then. The pregame show brought to you by the St. Rita's Medical Center, the region's leader in medical care. From our sports medicine walk-in clinics to 24-hour express and emergency care, that is why, Ken, there is St. Rita's. We got to talk about his blood pressure later on, too. He's been getting it checked lately. It's over 100 on that bottom number every time he's had it checked. And again, coming up next, we've got for you the starting lineups, and we also have Mike Pruitt's keys to the game. That all comes up next right here on Fox. Stay with us.
The gym was like a second home to me. So when I hurt my shoulder and I couldn't do the things I love to do, I knew I needed help. After surgery at St. Rita's and time in the hospital's therapy pool, my shoulder's stronger than ever. Thanks to St. Rita's, I'm back in the gym doing what I love to do, with the people I care about most.
For more about St. Rita's Sports Medicine Program, call us. That's why there's St. Rita's.
Hi, folks. Bob Aubin here, and November is Truck Month at Mike Pruitt Superstore. Buy or lease any 99 or 2000 F-150 in stock and receive $300 in genuine Ford accessories free. That's right, $300 to use towards your purchase of any genuine Ford accessories. Plus, now through December 25th, with your purchase of any pre-owned vehicle in stock, receive $500 in Christmas cash. I'm sure you know someone you can spend it on.
Me. Oh, dear.
Betty?
I see you've been in the kids' magic set again, Bob.
I discovered a way to save us money every month. Watch this. And this, voila.
Wow, how'd you do that?
Simple. I call the Loan Zone at 1-800-LOANS-US. Their rates are low and the paperwork's a breeze. We can use a home equity loan to shrink our monthly bills and buy other things like this.
Oh, Bob.
Or this.
I love the Loan Zone.
Call 1-800-LOANS-US for low rates every day. The Loan Zone, member National City Corporation, equal housing lender.
WOHL, Limas Fox Station, in cooperation with the Ohio High School Athletic Association, is proud to present tonight's playoff game. A promotional fee has been paid to the OHSAA for the broadcast rights of this game. Without the support of the following businesses, this game would not have been possible. Reliable Plumbing and Heating. Call Reliable Plumbing and Heating for 24-hour emergency service at 695-2921. Reliable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Delphos, Chevrolet, Buick, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile. Delphi, your hometown dealer serving the Delphos and surrounding communities since 1946. United Equity Incorporated in Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth, your locally owned farmers cooperative. Delphos Food Locker, now offering a variety of meats, cheeses, appetizers, and soups. A proud sponsor of local high school sports. Stop by today. Community First Bank and Trust is now offering 6.0 annual percentage yield CDs for 9 months with a minimum deposit of $500. Limited time offer which may be changed at any time. APY accurate as of announcement date for personal deposits of less than $100,000. Interest penalty for early withdrawal. WOHL Lima's Fox Station congratulates all student athletes playing in the 1999 football playoffs.
Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to Salina Stadium. We've got Division VI Regional Final High School football here on Fox. Carl Metzger along with Ken Schreiner and Scott Stiles ready to bring it to you. Delphos St. John Blue Jays up against the Ansonia Tigers. Time right now to check out our keys to the game, brought to you by our good friends at Mike Pruitt Ford, where you'll discover for yourself that nobody beats a Mike Pruitt deal. Nobody. And with the keys for tonight, Ottawa Glandorf head football coach Ken Schreiner.
Keys of the game, first of all, for both teams, it's got to be control the line of scrimmage, especially when you get to playoff football like this. Both teams have to be able to be successful on the line of scrimmage. Number two, 100% ball control, and that includes no turnovers and also sustained long drives. Both teams have to be able to move the ball up and down the football, and I don't think you can rely on big plays in a game like this. And then number three, I think early success in the game is going to be key, and that's primarily for Ansonia. I think they have to be successful early and make sure we take the crowd out of Delphos here as well.
Those are the keys brought to you by Mike Pruitt Ford, where you'll discover for yourself that nobody beats a Mike Pruitt deal. Nobody. And Sonia comes in. They are the orange and black, the Tigers from the Cross County League. They have an enrollment of 81 boys at their school. And their head football coach for tonight trying to get this team all pumped up. And also the athletic director, we should mention, Jim Robson. Coach Eugene Wallace out of Wilmington College. He's been a head football coach for 19 years. His overall record, 114-72-1. They come in with a record of 9-3. This is their first time ever as regional finalists. Delphos St. John's, we've had them on the last couple of weeks. They've won 41 consecutive games. They are 12-0 on the season, coming off a win last week over Springfield Catholic Central, 49-8. And for Ansonia, Cincinnati Country Day, 21-7. Of course, we'll tell you much more about these two teams as this game continues. Delphos St. John's going to be kicking off first. Going to give the Tigers a chance to get the football. Kicking off for Delphos St. John's will be number 36, Doug Martz. Back deep for Ansonia will be Steve Beisner, Derek Hartzell, and Craig Wagner. And here we go, ready to get this regional final game underway. The kick is a line drive down the left side of the field, and Sonia's right goes into the end zone for a touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. We will now check the starters for the offense for Ansonia, defense for Delphos St. John. Starters brought to you by the St. Rita's Sports Medicine Walk-In Clinics, open from 7:30 to 9 o'clock a.m. Monday through Saturday. That's 830 West High Street in Lima. We'll start checking them after this first play. We will tell you the quarterback, though, is Derek Bargy, 66 for 113. 818 yards passing this year, 12 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. 6'3", 170. He is a senior. Watch out for number 24, Derek Hartzell, 5'10", 180-pound senior. They will go with the handoff off right tackle. And let's check that offense for you. We talked about Bargy and Hartzell. Hartzell's 24, over 1,500 yards rushing this year, 20 touchdowns. Toby is a tailback in the backfield. Tim Toby, 68 carries, 448 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Flanker, number 5, Kyle Warvel, 5'7", 145, a sophomore. He'll switch off the 12, Steve Beisner. Centers, number 51, Brian Herod. The guards, Kenny Edwards and Zach Stahman. Tackles, Jason Evers and Nick Huff. Tight end is Robert Singer. The split end is Jack Hattert. Second down situation, they need 8 from the 22-yard line. Run a little counter action there. Not much going on. St. John defense there one more time. Let's check the Jays D for you. That defensive front line, Capcard, Jackson, Schwinnen, and Klaus. The backers got some good ones. Martz, Recker, and also Sean Ardner. The 4 players that round out the starting 11 for St. John's. You got Craig Hershey in the backfield, Jeff Fisher, Chuck Hain, and Randy Grothaus. And those are your starters in the defense for Delphos St. John's. Well, Ken, faced with a 3rd down and 9 situation after the last carry, 21-yard line. They will go with the pitch, and we've got some whistles, probably a procedure call against the offense.
I didn't see where the flag was. It was a quick toss trying to get outside. The illegal substitution is a penalty.
Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Carl, they only had 10 guys on the field, and the guy came in late, lined up on the outside. You got to be within a certain amount of yardage to the huddle, and that's what happened there. Back to you guys.
Ken, we'll let you clear up your little thing in the pregame show. I think you made a reference, David and Goliath pointed to the wrong team. We know what you meant, though.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm a rookie up here. Remember that. I'm better on the field with grass under my feet, I think.
Long way up here in this press box here at Salina Stadium, but they had a lot of improvements to the press box, and we're happy to be here bringing you this regional final game. And Sonia, the Tigers, only 34 on the roster, trying to knock off the Blue Jays. 3rd down, let's call it 14 now after the penalty. Back split in the backfield. They will go with the pitch like they were going to do before that, but the defense for St. John's is there. Ken, tell us a little bit about this offense and Sonia's trying to run here.
Well, it looks like they're trying to do a little bit of everything. That was an unbalanced look there. They tried to get outside. They tried double tight look. No success there. Tried to smash the ball inside. Try to counter as well. So 3 plays, nothing going right now. Defense for Delphos looks good right now.
So it's going to set up a 4th down situation, and the Tigers are going to have to punt from inside the 5-yard line. The kick is up by Derek Hartzell. It's going to be a short kick, going to be caught at around the 45-yard line. So let's check the Jays offense, high-powered offense coming on out after the defense stopped in Sonia. Quarterback Scott McCormick, over 1,400 yards passing. Adam Miller is the fullback, and the tailback is number 37, Zach Weber. And Weber coming off that hyperextended elbow from last week's game, so we'll see Jordan Bowers in there for Delphos St. John's as well tonight. Aaron Becker, he is the wingback. We'll check the offensive line for you after this first play from scrimmage. Zach is in the backfield, though, running now the tailback spot in the eye. He gets the first one. That's a high pitch, and look at him go. First carry, he picks up about 7 or 8 yards.
Nice pickup. Good kick out by the fullback. Led up through with a guard and picked up about 8 yards. Looks like 7 yards.
How about that offensive line? 51, Phil Gunder, the center. Offensive lineman of the year. 55, Miller, Scott Miller. Nick Yeager, the other guard, tackles Kyle Minning and Andy Becker. And the split end is John Odwell. The tight end is Ryan Morris, number 84. We'll check the D for you after this next 2nd down and 3 play. Scott McCormick under gunner. Man will go in motion for Delphos St. John's. They will go with the handoff, and it's going to be a 1st down for Delphos St. John's. Let's check the Tiger defense, front line. Out of the 44, you've got Derek Hartzell, one of the ends. The other end is Robert Singer. He's got 9 sacks this year. A couple tackles, Kenny Edwards and Rob Castle. Defensive linebackers, Zach Evers, Zach Stahman, Ryan Everman, and Nick Huff. The backers, in terms of the defensive backfield, we'll tell you about them after this next play. 1st down and 10 from the 34-yard line. No score. Lone zone scoreboard. Weber, look at him go. Gets to the outside, and right now the blockers are in front, but he's going to be brought down after picking up another 1st down for St. John's. Defensive backs are Kyle Warvel, Tim Toby, and Steve Beisner, who has 5 interceptions this year. The starting lineups have been brought to you by St. Rita's Sports Medicine Walk-In Clinics, open from 7:30 to 9 o'clock a.m. Monday through Saturday, 830 West High Street in Lima. Right now, Coach, I want to get a timeout early.
Ansonia called timeout, see if they can shut this down. Right now, Delphos is controlling everything up front, and looks like they're doing whatever they want at will.
Let's go down to Scott Stiles on the sideline.
Fellas, Ansonia's in trouble already because they have 9 guys in the box, and they still cannot stop the run. And the middle is wide open, so look, maybe Delphos come out with a hard slant pattern or a short post over the middle, because the free safety is curled up right behind the backers. Nobody over the middle. Back to you guys.
They have a man on defense for the Tigers by the name of Kenny Edwards, defensive lineman who made the All-Southwest Ohio first team. Ken, tell us about this cross-county league.
I know nothing about the cross-county league. I'm a Northwest Ohio guy.
Bradford, Twin Valley South, National Trail, Tri-County North, Arcanum, Covington, Bethel, Mississinawa Valley, and Covington playoff team. We'll get back to the rest of these here in a second. Blue Jays with the football. This is the quarterback, McCormick. He's going to pick up a few. Cincinnati Country Days team, they beat the playoffs 21-7. 9-3, their record right now. But you look back at the beginning of the season, Ken, they were defeated by another MAC squad, Parkway, by the score of 26-9.
That gives a reference for Delphos St. John's, too, to see a common opponent. And looks like Ansonia didn't do too well against that common opponent.
Twin Valley South beat them 32-16. That's a team that St. Henry defeated last night to get to the semifinals of state. High formation, 2nd down and 5. Zach goes in motion. They look his way. Now McCormick wants it across the middle, and it's knocked down. Nice defensive play down in the end zone. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
It was a great defensive play. It's a tight end release down the middle. Number 1 for Ansonia made a great play deflecting the ball away. That big tight end, you want to get the ball up a little higher. That time McCormick threw a little low, gave the shot for Ansonia to defend the ball away. Back to you.
Ryan Everman with 74 tackles this year. The other backer, Stahman, with 76. The left defensive tackle, Edwards, we were talking about, Ken, 127 tackles and 6 sacks.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive for a defensive lineman to have that many tackles.
3rd and 5 from the 12-yard line. Man in motion again for the Jays. They'll go with the keeper. Option by the quarterback, McCormick, and he gets it down inside the 5. And that means another 1st down and goal to go for Delphos St. John's.
That was a nice ride of the fullback. The quarterback had his eyes up on the tackle, rode the fullback in there. Fullback took off to the right side. Quarterback pulled the ball, and just a huge hole there on the left side.
Zach Weber was named Offensive Player of the Year for the MAC. Doug Martz, the outside linebacker, was named the league's Defensive Player of the Year. And many, many, many more honors for Delphos St. John's on that MAC squad. And rightfully so. Here we go. 1st down and goal to go from the 2-yard line. Who will get it this time for St. John's? They'll go with no pass play in the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Touchdown, Delphos St. John's. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Great play action. They're all biting on the run. They're all stacked in the middle. Release Kimmett, number 45, out in the backfield. Touchdown, Jays, 6-zip. They hits quick, Carl. 7:18 left on the scoreboard. Ansonia on the ropes already early in the game. Back to you.
And you know what? Kimmett's just a freshman. Number 45, Keith Kimmett, a freshman. And, well, that's Jackson, new number?
We got Kyle Jackson.
Okay, let's change that. That's Kyle Jackson. Kyle Jackson with the touchdown for Delphos St. John's. And that makes it 6-zip on the Lone Zone scoreboard, and they kick this one through. And now St. John's on top, 7-zip. So Kyle Jackson for the Blue Jays, who is the left defensive tackle, getting a chance to score a touchdown.
Glory days.
That helps you out, doesn't it, Ken?
Glory days.
Still hope for you yet.
Get one of those big boys in the backfield and give him an opportunity to catch the ball. That's exciting.
So St. John's quickly goes up 7-zip on the Lone Zone scoreboard. I'd like to thank all these sponsors out there making it possible. We are here again tonight, Salina Stadium, bringing you all the action for this regional finals game. This Ansonia team has 7 returning starters. They have 16 returning lettermen. 7-3 record last year. And their coach, I think I said to sit on here on their sheet that it was Eugene Wallace. It's Eugene Haining, who is the head football coach for Ansonia. That happens sometimes.
I can't trust the papers we've got to deal with.
St. John's ready to kick off now. 7 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play, and they quickly, and that was that early success there, Ken.
That was a quick strike. Nice drive by Delphos St. John's, moving the ball. You know, Ansonia didn't do a thing to stop them. They need to do a better job than that.
Up here we go again. Marks gets the foot into it. It's going to be knocked around, picked up around the 19-yard line, returned to the 25, and that is where they will set up their offense. 1st and 10. The offense for Ansonia is averaging 37.3 points per ball game. St. John's averaging over 47 per game. But the key for Ansonia is to establish that running game because they pick up over 250 yards per game via the rush.
They've got a lot of wing T tendencies. You can tell that the offense that they're setting up is a wing T type offense, and they're messing with their splits here a little bit too, trying to get the running game going.
Well, let's see what they can do. Derek Bargy, the quarterback, and he will go with a lot of nothing on that play. What happened there, Ken?
A lot of misdirection in the backfield, and I think they tried to, false key something, and hopefully everybody would forget about the quarterback. Nobody bid on it, and the entire defensive line was there.
We tell you about some of the results. So you got them all listed there, Ken, for last night. Of course, the big game, St. Henry winning 14-7. They advance now to the semis of the state. And, of course, we'll run down where all those games are going to be played here pretty soon, and Ken will update you on some of those games as this game goes along. 2nd down, 10 after no pickup on that last carry. They'll go with the pass play from Bargy. It's a short one. Looks like they're trying to set up a screen over there.
Screen out to the right, had it set up fairly well, but heat on the quarterback. I think somebody got a hand on the ball as well.
What else happened last night, Ken, of interest?
Oh, Division II. Not much going on in this area, but Cuyahoga Falls, Walsh Jesuit, 38, Akron Buckdale, 6. I read a little bit on the internet about that one. That was supposed to be a big rivalry. Sylvania Southview, 31, Wadsworth, 24. Trenton Edgewood, 19, Lebanon, 7. And Uniontown Lake, 42. And Lewis Center, Olentangy, 14.
3rd down and 10. Nothing again. 27-yard line. Pass play. They set it up, and it's intercepted by Delphos St. John's. With the interception is Sean Ardner, and we've got a flag at the end as well. But Sean Ardner, the senior, picks up the interception.
Right in his breadbasket. Great read by the linebacker. Stepped in front of it. Somebody got carried away downfield. I think it's either a chop block or a clip.
Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Fellas, the interception was caused by right defensive end Joe Catcar. He came hard. Nobody even touched him. He came hard on a release, buried the quarterback in the ground, forced the quarterback to force the throw, and that's what happens. Interceptions. Back to you.
Well, so it's going to bring them back a little bit. They're going to mark it at about the 29-yard line. But more importantly for St. John's, they've got the football again in great field position. Liberty Center won big last night, too. Edging closer to a state championship. 1st down and 10 for the 29-yard line. Man will go in motion. That's Ryan Morse out of the I formation. McCormick wants to throw, goes to Morris. Misses one missed tackle there, and he almost gets away from the second guy, and he's going to be close to a 1st down.
Nice quick pass on the far flat. Nice catch and good run upfield. Slipped one tackle and good run upfield. Division III scores from last night. Columbus Watterson was 31, Bellefontaine 28. Dayton Chaminade Julienne 43, Gallia is 6. Orville 24, Copley 17, and Poland 23, Steubenville 21.
Seminary continues to roll. 2nd down, 3 from the 22. McCormick goes with the pitch. Zach Weber cuts it up the middle, and nice tackle there, saving tackle.
Yeah, I think somebody missed a block on that when he got in the backfield and forced the cutback, although Weber cuts back hard anyway, but I think somebody missed a block.
Down to 6 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. 7-0. Delphos St. John's on top of the Lone Zone scoreboard. Best of luck to Tim Goodwin and his crew tonight. Marion Local playing against Tiffin Calvert. And, it all depends who you talk to, but everybody looking forward to possibly a state semifinal game next week between Marion Local and St. John's. Some people are even saying that it could be a state championship game. Just have to wait and see. Pitch back Weber, left tackle, makes the cut again, and again, nice job, even though he picked up the 1st down. Nice containment there by that defense for Ansonia.
Same play, opposite way, a little toss back to the tailback, kick out block, and nice tackle on it by the defense. Division V scores from last night. Amanda Clear Creek 41, Baltimore Liberty Union 7. Bedford Chanel 39, Sullivan Black River 20, Liberty Center 49, Sycamore Mohawk 28, and St. Henry 14, West Alexandria Twin Valley 7.
Tim Beckman in it again, going to state for the semis. 1st down and 10 for the Jays, 17-yard line.
Got man coverage. Everybody's stacked up on the line here.
See what happens. They'll go with the option. Keeps the football, cuts it up. He may go all the way. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Touchdown comes at the 5:06 mark of this first quarter. Jays on top. 13 zips, Scott Stiles.
Well, that's just Scotty McCormick run the option to perfection. First thing you do is you read the tackle. If he steps down, which he did, he took care of the fullback. So he pulls the ball. Everybody flew to Weber. What do? You keep it, cut it up the middle, and that's exactly what he did. Great read by Scotty McCormick for the score. Back to you.
I'm impressed with his patience. Option was there. He led the fullback. Fullback cleared. Looked at the tailback, and he actually got a push off on somebody. Somebody was blocking in front of him, and he just had the patience to let the guy clear.
Bittler, there's a high snap, gets it up, and he will knock it into the trees out on the street. Extra point. He came in 63 of 71 this year on extra points, and he adds another one to his collection. Talk about the Jays, and we mentioned the players of the year, but you look at that MAC All-League football team, you got to mention in there as well Ryan Morris at the tight end position. Also in there for Delphos St. John's, Scott Miller, one of the guards. Phil Gunder, of course, the center. Zach Weber at running back, as we mentioned before. Doug Martz, the punter for St. John's as well. First team defense for St. John's. Throw in there Rocky Klaus, Kyle Jackson, Matt Schwinnen, Doug Martz, and Jeff Fisher, and that makes up the first team defense. And then you can go on to the second team offense and defense. You get down to honorable mention, and I think you got about all 93 players covered.
Just about.
Of course, the Western Buckeye League named their all-league team just recently. And how'd you guys do, Ken?
We did quite well. I was pretty pleased. We went 7-4 this year, and our kids played hard, and we were rewarded for the effort that the kids gave.
Chris Kuhlman with an outstanding season.
Yeah, Chris Kuhlman, and we had two first-teamers with T.J. Pendergast as a defensive tackle, and also Nick Graymeyer as a defensive tackle, which is unusual, but those guys played well for us, and we're going to miss T.J., but we got Nick back.
And a great 7-3 season for you guys this year. Ball picked up at the 27-yard line, continuing forward. And nice end block down there by number 35, Zach Evers. He was out on a mission.
I don't know what happened there. He cleared the pile. Everybody else was at the ball, and he cleared the pile.
He's down about the 20-yard line at the other end of the field, not blocking people. Let's get down to Scott Stiles.
The only bad thing about that is the only thing this crowd's had to cheer about tonight. I mean, they went nuts when that happened. Back to you.
We can't see anything up in the press box from about 40 feet in from the end of the edge of the field here. So we're relying on Scott tonight to let us know what's going on down there. This is the handoff. They're trying to get Hartzell involved in some action here. And, when you're playing all season long like Derek Hartzell has, not a real big guy. He's 5'10", 180, about my size. Ken, senior, 250 carries this season for over 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns. And, you can say this, and everyone has got to agree. They haven't seen a team like Delphos St. John's this year, and this has got to be a big blow to him to go out there and carry the football, and all he sees up front is a bunch of blue and gold jerseys.
A great pursuit by the defense. He's got to understand you better not run towards the sideline. You better start heading north and south.
Second down 9 from the 38. He did pick up 1. They're going to try him again, and he picks up a few more, about 5 yards on that carry. As we've got 4:10 remaining here in this first quarter. Let's check the size of the offensive line. You got the center at 180. The guards are 215 and 185. Tackles are 180 and 175. Now, those aren't real big tackles. Sound more like guards there. Tight end at 175. And then you put those Blue Jays on the other side of the ball. I'll tell you their sizes here in a second. Third down and 5 from the 42. They've got a receiver split wide left. Back split. They go with the handoff, and the Jays are all over that one.
Swarming defense.
Size on the other side, Ken. You got Capcar 202, Jackson 250, Schwinnen 205. Not quite big as his dad yet. And Rocky Klaus at about 190 pounds. But the backer is the one that makes this go as well. Recker at 222, the middle linebacker with 100 tackles. Ardner 197, and Marks at 183 pounds.
A lot of coaches in Ohio would love to have that size on their team.
On a punt, low snap, gets it off at the 35-yard line, and back there for the Jays is number 21, Jeff Fisher, and there's a flag, and he keeps on going, but got a flag down there. Let's get down to Scott.
Yeah, I think we got a legal block in the back, Carl, is what it looks like we have here. We'll see. But I tell you what, Fisher, that's another weapon they have on this is special teams. Fisher is an outstanding returner. I believe he has 3 or 4 returns this year for touchdowns. He's another weapon on this Delphos team, but it looks like we got a hold.
They go against the Jays. Hey, make sure to jump on the net and go to www.foxlima.com for the latest in what's going on in Fox Sports football until the 4th of December, and then we jump into high school basketball. In fact, maybe doing a basketball game the night before the state championship game. No, we're not going to? You sure? We're going to go down Friday night, huh? Fox Crew's going down early. You going to go along, Ken?
When you get down your list to all of the guys that you've called for your coach on the basketball games, let me know.
Okay. Well, Arnson and Etzler, I don't have to go any further than those guys. St. John's with the football. High formation. It is the option pitch. Zach Weber's got running room galore. Look at him go. He's going to pick up about 15 yards. And I tell you, if he could have made about 2 more steps on that sideline, he would have been zinging down that sideline.
That's a long block to hold out there for the receiver, and he did a nice job. You know, when you're gaining 16 yards on a pitch like that, the receivers are doing a nice job downfield, and he really held on for a long time.
Zach's carried the football 206 times coming into the ball game, 1,915 yards, so he should break the 2,000 barrier tonight. 28 touchdowns. And Jordan Bowers, what a job Jordan did last week, our player of the game, 4 touchdowns. He's got over 500 yards rushing this season. Bowers is in the backfield right now. Man in motion for Delphos St. John's. McCormick wants to throw down the right sideline. Odenweller will drop the football. John Odenweller had his hands on that one. Let's go down to Scott.
Well, I'm sure he'd like to blame it on the lights, but that's not the case. He had in his hands. What happened was, Carl, is he pulled his hands down too soon because he had the guy beat. Perfect pass by McCormick. Just didn't look it all the way in. You got to do that. Back to you.
Are you standing down there on the sideline, Scott, on this side, or I don't even know where you're at?
Yeah, I haven't moved, Carl, the whole quarter.
Haven't you?
Coonsy goes, I got to at least walk. My toes are front. No, we haven't moved.
Well, we can't see anything. I just wanted to check. Second down 10 from the 42, and they will go with Bowers. Bowers got all kinds of running room. Touchdown, Delphos St. John's.
Caught him in a blitz right up the middle. Caught him in a blitz. I think it was a trap. I'm not sure. It might have been just a straight dive, but opened the floodgates.
Jordan Bowers, number 27 for the Jays, just a junior, will now make it 20-0 on the Lone Zone scoreboard, and it is still the first quarter. Going for the extra point. It's a 42-yard touchdown for Bowers.
Everything's clicking right now.
Early success.
Early success.
Fisher's hold, kick is up, and Bittler drills it again. Well, Scott, how about down there on the sideline for Ansonia as you look up in the crowd?
Coach, they did. They caught him in a blitz, but Bowers went right through the blitz. The blitzers, you got to be under control. You want to blitz, but you got to stay under control on the blitz. It was a base give. Bowers just ran right by both backers, clear sail in the end zone. Last week, Bowers came in for an injured Zach Weber and proved that this team will function without number 37 in the backfield, because I think he had about 115 yards last week and was our, I believe, player of the game. Back to you guys.
Yes, he was.
Ansonia's in man coverage, and that's one disadvantage of being up in man coverage and stacking 9 guys on the line of scrimmage. There was not a free safety in the middle of the field left to tackle him. Once he broke through the linebacker level, it was Katie bar to the door.
Huh? What'd you say?
Had to throw one of those in there.
Katie who? Last year, Canton McKinley Division I champs, Lebanon, in Division II champs, Columbus St. Francis, DeSales 3, Orville 4, Versailles 5. And, of course, we know the Blue Jays, champs in Division VI, looking for their 3rd straight state championship. Styles, we'll try Ken on the quiz tonight on those former state champs.
Oh, I got them.
Richards did. Are you watched the broadcast?
No, I knew it. You asked my wife. Janice is sitting at home. She said, yeah, he knew it. He knew it.
I don't have to ask you then.
We can call it. You can ask me anyway, so I look good.
Kickoff at the 15. Shouldn't have said anything. To the 20, 25. Hartzell takes it out to about the 30. So he's gang tackled by some Jays there, and they're going to try to set up this offense. What do you do, Ken? I mean, you're down 21 zip with the extra point, and trying all sorts of things offensively. And we talked in the pregame show, just doing what you've been doing all season long, but you can't.
Well, that's one of the limits of this type of offense. They're a double tight. They've got backs right up on the line of scrimmage. It seems like they're about 3 or 4 yards deep, and a wing tee offense is not necessarily a quick strike offense. It's long drives, and right now, they've got to find a way to spread things out. They're man coverage. They got a one receiver out here all by himself.
Let's see what they can do, Bargy, and we've got some movement. Jays are pointing at the offensive line.
You've got to find a way to push the ball down the field and whatever it takes. And, down 21 points at this point, you better find it in a hurry.
And not to, this is a replay game, so the fans from Ansonia really can't hear what we're saying. But in a situation like this, St. John's is already up 21 zip, and they don't give up very many points.
Yeah, that's...
You're getting a hole like this, and unless you've got a high-powered offense, you might as well go home early for the Tonight Show. And this will be the handoff to Hartzell. And look at this. You got 5 Jays there almost in the backfield before Hartzell even gets a chance to get the football.
Great hit on the line of scrimmage. Back had the ball and just stoned him right on the line of scrimmage. I think they forgot to block somebody.
There's a chance this year for the MAC to have 3 state champions. Coldwater's still involved in it. St. John's still involved in it. St. Henry's still involved in it. Marion Local still involved in it. So only 2 of those teams from the same division.
I brought 3-gallon jugs to stop by each of those communities and pick up some water from each one to figure out what's going on.
Well, one of those you don't want to get any water. They're trying to reverse, and boy, that was ugly because Kyle Warble, who has 41 carries this year for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns, didn't have a chance. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
It's just called controlling the line of scrimmage, and when you're on offense, that's what you try to do. But Delphos right now is just controlling both sides of the football. Defensively, they're just coming off the ball, smack mouth football down here, and they're just dominating on the defensive line of scrimmage. Too much penetration. The backs have no chance at all. Back to you.
Sounds a little bit like you there, Ken. Control the line of scrimmage and smash mouth football. What do we got? Got a kick here by Hartzell. Bounces at the 41, and he'll down it right there. And St. John's has great field position again with 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining. First quarter, 21 zip on the Lone Zone scoreboard.
The big uglies for Delphos right now are dominating up front. There is no doubt about it. They're pushing the line of scrimmage their way. We do have a flag out here on the play. Clip on Delphos St. John's.
Well, moving back a little bit, gives them a little bit more field to work with. Tiffin Calvert playing Mariah Stein, Marion Local tonight in Region 22. Marion Local at this point in the ball game is on top by a touchdown, and they were kind of comparing Tiffin Calvert to like a Pandora Gilboa, and folks over Marion way were pretty confident that they were going to be able to defeat Tiffin Calvert, but that ball game is not over yet. You folks out there already know what's going on. Also in Division 6, Monroeville, Norwalk, St. Paul playing tonight. And Howard East Knox is taking on Danville in Region 23.
Must have been a pre-possession. I guess possession never changed, but Ansonia gets the ball back again, 3rd down here on the clip.
Oh, okay.
So Ansonia's ball with 3rd and 9.
So they'll give him one more shot here. 3rd down situation for the Tigers. Back split again, back to pass. Bargy, and it's picked off again by the Blue Jays. This time Randy Grodehouse, touchdown Blue Jays.
Great
32-yard touchdown interception at the 105 mark, and Randy Grodehouse is making a habit of these interceptions. He's got 7 now on the season. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Well, it was a poorly thrown football, Carl. Grodehouse really didn't have to defend on the play. He just stepped right in front of this ball, was thrown way behind the receiver, and the Grodehouse is off to the races. I tell you what, it's a very frustrated Sidelines right now. Players are dropping their heads, throwing their helmets, so it's not pretty. We still got a minute to go in the first quarter.
Hershey had been tied with Grodehouse with 6 interceptions on the season. Now he takes over that lead again and gets 6 points to add to this collection of points for the Jays here in this first quarter. And as Scott mentioned, we still got 1:05 to play. And this one is up and good one more time. So Delphos St. John's goes up 28-zip. Ken, one question, you hear a lot of talk, and you being a Western Buckeye League coach, the Blue Jay fans know they have a good football team. Now, if you take a team like Delphos St. John's, they've compared them before, when you get to Division 5 and 4 and 3 and all the way up the ladder, how good you've seen them before on tape, and now you're seeing them in person. How good is this St. John's team if you'd have to stack them up against teams from bigger leagues?
I'll tell you what, I would stack them up anywhere up to Division 3, Division 2 teams. I don't know how good they are if they could handle the big boys in Division 1, but the looks of things that they're doing right now, all over the field, they don't miss a beat. They got 11 guys playing solid football at all times, and the scores that they've put on the board and the way they've held teams down, I'm not sure how many teams could handle them.
Now, you were a center in college, played at Bowling Green, of course, with Rich Dacken as your quarterback. What is the difference that you're seeing from this St. John's team? You see big guys playing the line all the time. What makes the difference for this St. John's team, do you think?
Oh, it's hard to say. I think, the things that they're doing up front, the team is playing as a unit, and that's the one thing as a coach you always try to achieve, is getting 11 people to play as one. And you look at the steps that they make, they're comfortable with each other, and if one, I haven't seen a mistake, but if one person makes a mistake, I'm sure somebody's going to cover up for it with this team.
There's the kickoff down the middle of the field this time, and who gets it? It's going to be returned all the way to around the 20-yard line, and not much more besides that. And
Greg Wagner, number 28.
Got a different guy. Hartzell didn't get a hold of it that time, and so let's see what Ansonia can do here in the final 59 seconds of this first quarter. Second teamers for Delphos St. John's. Let's tell you about some of them. You got John Odenweller at wide receiver, Kyle Minnig, one of the tackles. Second team defense. As I look through them here, Randy Grothaus, who just had the interception. We'll tell you about some of the honorable mention guys here and after this next play. Hartzell got himself a hole on that right side, and he picks up about 6 yards.
Quick toss, trying to get the ball outside. They were successful getting the ball outside and made a nice cut. Got about 5 or 6 yards.
Honorable mention for St. John's, Scott McCormick, Joe Kapkar, Sean Ardner, Keith Recker, Craig Hershey, and Nick Yeagers. So about everybody on the offense and defense getting in there for Delphos St. John's.
Good situation to be in for Ansonia here. They're about second and 3 or 4. Looks like about 4.
28 seconds remaining. They'll go with the pitch again. This time the ball goes to Toby. Toby will pick up the first down, and that is the first down of this ball game for the Tigers with 17 seconds on the clock.
Gives the Ansonia fans something to cheer about down here.
And the Blue Jay fans are even applauding.
By the way, I keep waiting for you to comment on Calvert a little bit more. That's my alma mater.
I know I was going to say something to you.
I don't know.
I didn't.
You didn't bash them.
I haven't yet. Give me time.
I had the opportunity to watch them last week. They spread the ball all over. They're a throwing team, but I'm not real sure how they would match up inside with Delphos.
Well, we played 12 minutes of high school football in this regional championship. Region 24, Division 6. Our score on the Lone Zone scoreboard, the Blue Jays on top, 28-0. Second quarter action coming up next on Fox.
Ever heard of drive-in claim service? No? Well, who's your insurance agent?
Your local Allstate agents are Jim and Karen Dickman on Elida Road in Delphos. Call them at 692-2236.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
For years, since you were a very small child, we've been helping your family. Always there, quietly providing support when it was needed. Now it's your turn. A family of your own, with all the joys and responsibilities that families bring. And we're still right here, where we've always been.
Citizens Bank of Delphos, your hometown bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
What's for dinner? You're not falling back on fast food again, are you? Quit feeling guilty about not having a home-cooked family meal because we have the greatest idea for you. Yoder's Home-Style Family of Foods. Yoder's mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, and cranberry relish go great with any entree. You can reheat them in the oven or microwave and serve in 5 minutes. No peeling, no cleaning, and no fuss. Yoder's Home-Style Family of Foods. You can find them in the meat, deli, or dairy department at your local grocery.
Something cooking at the Carriage Inn in Delphos. Whether it's soups, salads, sandwiches, lunch, or dinner, the Carriage Inn in Delphos has home-cooked recipes for all ages. Lots to choose from on the sandwich board. There's a different kind of soup in the kettle every day, and the dinner entrees are magnifique. A Friday night tradition in Delphos is Carriage Inn fish, all you care to eat, and plenty of sides to go with it. If you can find room, sample a piece of homemade pie, baked daily, at the Carriage Inn, 1201 East 5th Street in Delphos.
Welcome back. Carl Metzger, Scott Stiles, and Ken Schreiner bringing you all the action here from Salina Stadium. It is 28-0. Delphos St. John's on top. It's a first down situation, though, for the Tigers. First one of the ball game, and we've got procedure call. Looked like the right guard jumped off sides, and so they're going to move him 5 yards back. You got a chance now, Ken, as we've got a little time. Tiffin Calvert up against Aria Stein, and by the time everybody watches this, of course, they know the outcome of this one. But Tiffin Calvert coming into the ball game 12-0 on the season. But again, what I had heard, Ken, and I don't know, Pandora Gilboa's down your way a little bit over there by OG, that they were very similar to the type of offense and defense that Pandora Gilboa has.
Right, spreading the ball around, throwing it up in the air, and, not really running the ball.
Hartzell is going to be brought down rodeo style by Sean Ardner, one of the backers. Now, Marion Local, of course, Tim Goodwin, the first-year head coach for the Flyers, the son of Bill Goodwin, my partner here on Fox, and Bill's helping out a little bit, setting up the press box, watching things, and helping Tim out. But what a good season for Tim, starting out in your first year, taking a team to the regional championship.
Yeah, that's the things that dreams are made of, to be able to take a team to be a championship team like that first season.
Second down and 12 from the 33. Pass play, wide open receiver, and it's overshot. Had number 87, looks like, down there, Jack Haddert. 6'3" junior, but wasn't able to get him the football.
Haddert slowed up. If he'd have turned and kept running, he might have had a good chance at that in a long gainer.
Now, you're familiar with what's going on down here. Of course, your football team we had on Fox a couple of years ago, you guys made the playoffs, so you know what's going through the minds and the emotions that these two coaches and players are going through. Exciting time.
It's a great feeling to make the playoffs like this, to know that you're one of the few teams that still have the opportunity to play football. There are a lot of advantages to it as well.
They're down. Here they go with the draw play, and St. John's reading that one all the way. In there was Jeff Klaus, the senior, bring the ball carrier down. How'd you guys like the consensus of the coaches around the Western Buckeye League with the way they set up the playoffs this year?
Oh, I was skeptical at first on that. I thought there would be a lot of 8 versus 1 blowouts, but it proved me wrong. I think I'm all for it. I was at the beginning. I think give everybody the opportunity to get in, but I just thought there wouldn't be a whole lot of success by the lower teams. But they've done well. There's a lot of 8 and 7 still in, 7 and 6s.
Hershey lets it bounce, and he almost stepped on that baby. Did he touch it?
Nope.
No, they're going to say St. John's gets to keep it, but that was real close there by Craig Hershey. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Another outstanding defensive effort by Delphos. I tell you what, this Ansonia team has a lot of talent, but I'm sure they haven't seen the size and strength and speed as what they're facing here tonight. And it's an honor to be in the playoffs. These kids need to relish this evening, but it's just one of those situations that they can't overcome. Back to you guys.
I think he was doing something else, and I called him. He's probably down there eating hot dogs or something.
Meeting a few people.
First and 10, they go with the handoff, and Zach goes down. Nice tackle by number 62, Kenny Edwards. And we talked to you about Kenny. Kenny's one of their outstanding defensive linemen. 127 tackles this year, 6 sacks. Kind of a big boy, 5'11", 215 pounds.
Nice agility. The ball was actually to be stretched outside of him, and he had to be able to cut back in inside with the ball carrier. That's a pretty good play.
So it's going to set up a 2nd down and 10 situation. Ball resting at the 28-yard line. McCormick shouting out the instructions to his offensive line. Now he goes with a fake draw, now looking downfield. Has a receiver, and it's going to be incomplete.
The ball was thrown a little bit behind him.
Didn't look like a St. John's offensive play there, did it?
We haven't seen a whole lot that hasn't worked.
I'd like to thank some of our sponsors making it possible. We're here tonight at Salina Stadium, Van Dyne Crowdy, 434 North Main in Delphos, your local Ottawa oil shell stations throughout Northwest Ohio. Mike Pruitt's Lima Ford Incorporated, the Superstore, 1360 Greeley Chapel Road in Lima. Nobody beats a Mike Pruitt deal. Nobody.
I thought that was my line.
I was waiting.
No, I thought you were going to elbow me or something.
That'd be quicker. Just some of our sponsors here on Fox. Weber goes in motion. McCormick in trouble out of the pocket now, and he's going to be brought down. 2 plays in a row with the Jays.
Oh, he almost got carried away there.
Yep, that was number 85, Robert Singer, 6'1", 175. And hey, Jays are going to have to punt.
That was the first. The punter's probably cold over there on the sideline. Give him a chance to get out here and kick.
So Martz is going to be standing around his own 10-yard line. And back deep for Ansonia is going to be Steve Beisner. Kick is off, and it's a line drive right to Beisner. Takes it at the 42-yard line, and that's all the further he's going to go. Craig Hershey with great coverage there for the Jays.
Great tackle. One-on-one downfield, make the tackle. That's a great play.
As we look over at the Blue Jays side, the stadium side is just packed. And then you look down in the field, and there are fans lined up all around this football field as well. So the numbers have turned out, even though, you talked to a lot of folks before the game even started that this wasn't even going to be close. But the fans still come out and support.
Jump at the opportunity to come and see one of the best teams in the state of Ohio play football. I think there's a lot of people from this area that just came out to watch.
Well, let's see what the Tigers can do on this series. Down 28-0, 9:05 remaining. A little counter action there. I think Warble got the football, the flanker. But he looks like he might even lose about a half a yard.
Great read by the linebacker, Ardner. Great read. Read his key. You can tell he's coached well.
Delphos St. John's, 22 returning lettermen this year. 9 returning starters. Todd Scholing, in his first year as head coach of Delphos St. John's, wins the MAC championship, and this winning streak continues at 41. They go with the pitch. Hartzell trying to cut it, and he will not. Brought down there by number 2 for the Jays, and that's Chuck Hain.
They had a corner blitz coming off the top, either corner blitz or an outside backer blitz, so they ran away from it. Good place to run, but this side sat on the ball, and guy stepped up and made a good tackle.
How are the numbers over at OG, Coach? Getting them out?
Yeah, we had a fairly small senior class, and my goal is to dress 20 players out of every class, and I think we'll hit that next year. Our freshman class had an outstanding season this year. They went 9-0, so hopefully we're going to carry more players next year.
Good. Well, a lot of room in there. They go with a little counter again, and this time it's going to be Toby who carries the football. And they really split those backs, don't they?
Yes, they do. Nice big splits, and that's part of the reason that they were able to get outside earlier with that quick toss is with the spread of the backs. Again, linebacker just sitting there waiting, reading his keys, waiting, and steps up and makes a play.
Well, it's going to set up a 4th down again, so Hartzell's going to have to punt it away, standing around his 31-yard line. Got back deep for St. John's. Oh, they faked this one, and
there he is again.
But the Jays.
I'll tell you what, Ardner has made 3 plays in that series that I am impressed with.
And he ran right underneath the press box. I didn't get a chance to see it, so let's see if Scott Stiles is awake down there and knows what's going on. Scott, you there?
Oh, yeah, I made the tackle. It was a great play, Carl. Great play. It's a great lower leverage. Hey,
You're on the St. John's side eating popcorn.
No, I'm actually with Greg Kimmel. He owns the Whistle Stop in Ansonia, and he feeds the team before the game. What'd they eat tonight? It wasn't nothing good, I can tell you that. Hey, this is called sideline reporting. This is good.
I wish I could see you.
Were the kids ready for the game, or were they kind of know what was coming on, or what?
Oh, they was pretty much ready up for it, but
I think mentally they was beat because everybody else told them they was beat. Well, they've had a good year, and they're playing well. Here's 28-0. You're still in a ball game. It's early in the game. Maybe the second half they get something going. I like to hope so. All right, back to you guys.
So you got any food for us after the ball game?
Carl wants to know if you got any food for us. Sure. Okay, but we can't advertise that right now on the. I'm sure little beverages after the game.
Hey, if there's any food down there, we'll talk about him all he wants. Second down 10 from the 45-yard line. 6:45 remaining here in this first half of play. I formation. McCormick wants to go with the option pitch to Weber. Look at this. He's got enough room on that right side to take a fleet of Mack trucks through it. He picks up about another 15 yards.
Just great patience by the quarterback. That's what you ask a quarterback to do. Make somebody force you to pitch the ball. And he ran right into the tackle, ran right into the end. The defensive end came upfield, pitched the ball. Good, clean pitch, and we're off to the races.
Our thanks to Arby's. We're saving a place for you at any one of the Lima or Bluffton restaurants. Your tough, smart attorneys, Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz in Lima. You can call them 1-800-223-8897. Timeout called on the field. And we'll also tell you our thanks goes out to the Delphos Food Locker, your headquarters for fresh meat and cheese. Speaking of food, I'd like to thank the great folks at the Carriage Inn, Craig and Sandy. Brought us some more food up here in the press box. And, Scott, we had a chance to try something new tonight.
Yeah, it's called the Apple Burrito. And I need to tell Craig and Sandy, the only thing that thing was missing was a little vanilla ice cream. And, God, we would have been in heaven. But that thing's good. I suggest you get that for an appetizer next time or dessert.
Ken ate 4 of them up here.
I believe it. I believe he's going to have apple stains on the front of that little jean shirt he wore. It's so cute tonight. His wife probably had to button it for him because he probably had to stretch it around that chest of his.
Oh, you guys are wonderful.
Isn't he nice, Ken? I tell you. I mean, my first choice to do the game with me tonight, and Styles picks all over you. Oh, boy. But anyway, the timeout is done, and St. John's comes back out on the field. And right now, faced with a first down and 10, they've got it resting at the 30. Let's see what the offense does this time. Looking to pass downfield.
Good protection.
McCormick, look at this. To Odenweller, touchdown, Blue Jays. John Odenweller will score from 30 yards out. The 6:28 mark of this second quarter of play. It's 34-0. Again, let's go down to Scott Styles.
You know, as the season's going on, Scotty McCormick has become more and more accurate. Right there, Johnny on the spot, right on the numbers. All Odenweller had to do is look the ball in, give it a little hop in the end zone. Another 6 for the Blue Jays, but these guys are on a roll, Carl. Heading for next week to the state semifinals. Back to you.
Talk about time to throw, Ken. I mean, wow.
Great protection. The guys up front doing a job. I'm so impressed with the way Delphos St. John's plays with confidence, too. You know, they know that they can be successful.
Well, I was talking to Dave Dessenberg, who is a coach now with the Blue Jays, used to be the offensive coordinator for the Elida Bulldogs, and I asked him, you know, he coached for the Bulldogs in the Western Buckeye League for several years, and saw him a couple of weeks ago, might have been the Coldwater game, and said, Dave, what's the big difference coming from Western Buckeye League, the big boys, you know, coming over here to St. John's? And, you know, Elida's had some good years, but, of course, the record's not close to what St. John's has had the last few years, and what's the biggest difference you see? And his answer right away was attitude. He said, these guys know they can win from week in and week out. Practice, they know they can win, and it carries out on the football field on Friday and Saturday nights.
Makes a big difference when you've got guys that carry that attitude week in and week out. And, you know, you can tell that it's from the guys at the top all the way down. You know, we stood on the sidelines and watched them do their jog across the field, and you look at their faces and their eyes. They're a group that is together. There's nobody selfish out there. They play as a team. They act like a team. I'm real impressed.
So now they're going to kick off with a score now 35-0 on the Lone Zone scoreboard. St. John's has won 2 straight Division VI titles, joining several teams with 2 state championships across the state of Ohio. And here we go. Getting the foot into it again is Doug Martz, and it goes deep. all the way to about the 15-yard line, should say the 10-yard line, returned all the way out to the 25, and then Sonia is going to have another shot with their offense to try to get some points up on the board. And that does not happen very often with Delphos St. John's. They shut out Warren, JFK, Tenora, Lima Perry, New Bremen, Fort Recovery, and Parkway. Second team, I believe, gave up some points in some other games, but they gave up 7 to St. Henry and Marion Local. That was the closest game of the year, 24-7. Minster got 16, Coldwater 14, and then in the playoffs, Minster got shut out 76 to nothing. Hartzell with the carry, right tackle, and he's going to be brought down after a pickup of about 4 yards or so. And then last week they win 49-8, so points being thrown all over the place.
Now, if you look, they didn't give up a point till Game 7. That's pretty impressive.
Well, Marion Local fans are pumped, I'll tell you that right now. If they knock off your alma mater, Tiffin Calvert, you know, we still don't know what's going to happen next week, but some folks are saying that it could be a St. John's Marion Local semifinal game. And
you never know what the state's going to do, how they're going to match teams up, and that's one of the things we have to kind of wait and see on Sunday.
Here we go. This is the quarterback looking downfield, has himself a receiver in Toby. Toby picks up the first down and then is brought out of bounds. Nice play there by the quarterback. Again, he's trying to make things happen. Derek Bargy, 6'3", 170 pounds. He's thrown for over almost just over 800 yards this season.
Again, the play action. Everything is off of play action. I'm not sure how successful you're going to be throwing play action in here. And linebacker Ardner again out there chasing him down. I'm impressed with him.
And so another first down. That's number 2, I believe, on the night. First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. They'll go with the handoff to Hartzell, and again, there he is.
There he is.
By the way, Ken, you get to pick a player of the game after this one is over. Sponsored by the Commercial Bank. It's all yours.
Pressure's on.
Has to be somebody who can wear a shirt. We have a shirt that's not real big. We usually don't pick offensive linemen or defensive linemen.
I'll tell you what, those are the only guys I watch. And also, if you're going to give it to a small guy, I think we're taking it to the wrong sideline.
Second down, 11 from the 39. They'll go with the counter. This time, all the way down near the 50-yard line.
Good hard run. Good leg drive by that, who is that, 12?
Beisner. Steve Beisner hasn't had a lot of carries tonight. He's the one of the flankers. They run Warvel and Beisner in and out. Beisner's got 72 carries this year for 409 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's also got 5 touchdowns receiving, over almost 400 yards receiving.
Third and short here. Delphos is bringing everybody up nice and tight on the line.
And they will go with the handoff, and he picks up the first down as Hartzell, but then he is stuck by Martz.
That was an ooh hit.
There is the league's defensive player of the year saying hello.
That was one of my coaches always talks about ooh hits. That was an ooh hit.
Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Yeah, the only ooh going on is how much food you're going down at halftime. We're watching you eat about 20 hot dogs. Go, ooh, there's another one.
You got to wake him up down there.
Tell you what.
Hey, there's a nice counter.
You better keep his hands to himself, too. I'll eat those, too.
And I told him before the game to be nice to you, Ken.
Yeah. He stood up here. He was awful nice when he was up here with us.
Well, you're a lot bigger than he is when you're right up close to him. You can get him after the football game, though. Temperature dropping a little bit on the outside. Starting to get a little bit nippy up here in the press box. Put the coat on. Second down and 8 from the 45. Backs are split again. The pitch this time will go to Beisner, and he almost lost it and picks up about, I think he got about 5 just because the momentum was carrying him that way, and he had to.
He was chasing the ball as he was juggling it and let him upfield a little bit.
Like a hot potato. Here, take it.
Both linebackers for Delphos are just making hit after hit.
I'd like to thank our good friends from Reliable Plumbing and Heating, 24-hour emergency service, you can call them. Jim Dickman, your Allstate insurance agent on Elida Road east of Delphos, and I&K Distributing, 1600 Gressel Drive in Delphos. Some of our great sponsors here on Fox. Approaching the 3-minute mark, second quarter, third down and 6 from the 43. Got some movement on the defensive line. That would be Jackson if he jumped off sides.
Yeah, Jackson ended up in the neutral zone, just flinched a little bit. That's what happens when you got big people like that.
When you got to change your jersey all the time, you get kind of anxious.
Well, I don't know. Coaches might not agree with me, but isn't he the one that caught the touchdown too? Yeah, he gets to jump in the neutral zone for 5. I'm sure when they watch the film, they won't agree with me, though.
You don't see St. John's make too many mistakes like that. That's why they're here. 3rd down and 1 from the 37-yard line. Gunder's on the defensive line now. And he gets a tackle. Right, he's in there. Yeah, you play offense all the time. Stick me in. Let me have a little bit of fun on the defensive side.
You got to give those big boys a biscuit once in a while.
Phil Gunder, 6'5", 250 pounds, the veteran, senior.
He's had a few biscuits then.
Well, he fell on his arm last week and knocked his breath out. Scott Stiles made fun of him before the game again. Don't fall down.
Stiles better be careful. These guys are big.
Somebody clips him one of these days.
4th and short.
They need 2. He's still in there on defense. They go with the pitch away from him to Beiser, and he cuts the corner. He has one guy, Hershey, and Hershey catches up with him. But a nice run by the flanker, Steve Beiser, as the Ansonia fans getting pumped up on the sideline. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Well, they sealed the corner, Carl. The first time all night, they sealed the corner. I'm down here on the Delphos side, and they came this way, and they actually got a good hook on the corner, and that freed him up down the sideline, and then the defensive back had to come over and make the play. Good drive going for Ansonia. Maybe they can get something positive out of this first half after all. Back to you.
Why don't you pick me a hot dog up there down with the doghouse, will you?
They said you ate enough before the game. Me and Coach Schreiner saw you begging, having people buying you food before the game.
He didn't even bring us anything either.
Here we go. 1st down and 10 for the 14-yard line. It's the handoff to Hartzell, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on that carry. He's going to set up a 2nd down and long.
Guys are getting a little feisty down there. You see a little more pushing, a little more shoving. Even as the whistle blows, there's a little bit more of that going on. That's all right. And Sonia's got nothing to lose now. Go out there and play hard and keep going. On that long run there, I'm impressed with the speed from the backside of Hershey. His pursuit angle was outstanding, and he saved a touchdown by that pursuit angle.
A minute 30 for Ansonia to put some points up on the board. They fake the pitch and go down the middle. Touchdown for the Tigers. Number 87, Jack Haddert. The end, 6'3", 195-pound junior, puts the Tigers on the scoreboard at the 126 mark of our 2nd quarter. Our score now, 35-6. Blue Jays. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Well, it's a great throw by number 14, Derek Barga. Put the ball right on the numbers. All Haggard had to do was go down the middle of the field, ran a little seam pattern from the tight end position. Seam was wide open, put it right on the numbers. Good drive by Ansonia, gets on the board.
He gets a chance now to kick the extra point. Kick is up, and he drills this one right down the middle. So that helps out a little bit, Ken, to kind of bolster their confidence going into the locker room at the half.
Gives you a little momentum going into the locker room at halftime, and I think they left a little bit of time on the clock here, and we'll see what Delphos can do. But that's something, a momentum that you need for a team that's down, trying to figure out if they can do anything. And that was a nice pass.
Now, what do you think was the key to that drive? Why were they able to pound it against the Jays that time?
I don't know. I think maybe they had a talk on the sidelines just to get something going, but it was nothing fancy. It was about the same thing that they had done. That was a nice long drive. I almost made the comment when they got to the 50-yard line that was a good drive, but to take it all the way down the score, that's great.
11 plays it took, 75 yards it covered, and it's 35-7 now on the Lone Zone scoreboard. So the Jays, though, have a whole minute 26 to put some points on the board.
This is an interesting placement of the ball on the tee.
We saw that last week. I think Springfield Catholic did that.
He's a toe basher. He's a toe basher. He got one of them big old club shoes on, steel toe shoe. He's going to go out there and just smack it down the field.
Yep, and that's Haddard again, who got the touchdown. See how this one gets off the tee, and it squibs. And they're going to down it at the 39-yard line. They fall on it there. That is tight end Ryan Morris.
Boys are getting feisty out there again.
But you know what? They only have 60 yards to go to get a touchdown.
Yeah, that's one of the downfalls on it. I don't think they did it as an onside kick. I think for the most part they were doing it just to stop a long return.
So let's see what the Jays may. Hopefully they didn't get him mad.
All the different playoff teams that I've seen this year, many of them, I shouldn't say all, many of them are kicking the ball off like that. Squibbing it downfield. If you kick it out of bounds, they end up on a 35 anyway.
Kind of like midget football.
Yeah, they don't kick off.
1st and 10 from the 40. They go with a quick handoff to Bowers that time, who's in there.
Nice play by the nose. Stamen. Nice play. He actually was on a slant move right across the center's face and ended up right in the middle of the play. That's a good call by the defensive coordinator.
Halftime show coming up here in just a couple of minutes, sponsored by our good friends at Van Dyne Karate of Delphos. Uniforms that work. 2nd down 9 from the 40. Out of the shotgun this time. McCormick looking downfield for the long ball. Has Weber. Catches it. And there he goes down the sideline. Touchdown, Delphos St. John's from 60 yards out. 47-second mark of our second quarter. It is now 41-7. Let's go down to Scott Stiles to talk a little bit about the zinger.
Impersonation of the throw. Hike, drop back to pass. You saw everybody's hat fly off on the Ansonia sideline. That's how fast he's moving. How can you let a guy get that, beat by that much? He goes in motion, and he just flies. He runs by everybody. It was amazing. Great throw, but you got to talk about the throw and protection by McCormick, because that play takes time to develop, and McCormick did a great job putting the ball in the numbers. Back to you.
41-7 with 47 seconds. Bittler's kick is good.
Nice job by the holder. Ball was on the ground. He actually picked it off the ground, still got it up on a tee.
Well, the St. John's fans all pumped up. Didn't take long to score there, Ken.
Hey, don't want to make them mad. Fired them up a little bit over there, and that was a nice play. We call that a curl and swing route. Curl by the wide receiver and then a swing down the sidelines. And for some reason, it's almost like a pick with the outside guy coming inside, and he gets in the way, and it causes the safety or whoever's covering the linebacker, whoever's covering the back out of the backfield to hesitate a little bit.
Well, next year there's going to be an all-star game between the Northwest Conference of the MAC versus the Western Buckeye League. Going to be over at Van Wert. And Jeff Hood, the head football coach at Van Wert, was on the locker room show earlier this year. Talk a little about that. Kind of excited?
Yeah, I think it's a nice opportunity for our kids to play one more game. There aren't a whole lot of kids there with the way recruiting goes. There aren't a whole lot of kids that get the opportunity to play at the next level, and it gives many kids an opportunity to strap them up one more time. As far as the competition, I don't know how it's going to go. There's some of our coaches in our league argued against doing it. Some of them said, it's a great idea. I'm all for it. I think just anytime we can provide kids with the opportunity to strap the pads on one more time and create a memory, I think that's a nice idea.
Could be interesting, too.
Could be interesting.
Martz gets a foot into it. Hartzell is going to catch it like a center fielder, then return it to the 20, and then he goes down about the 23-yard line. That is where Ansonia will have 42 seconds to work with here in this first half. Did you say recruiting?
Recruiting.
You say OG's recruiting? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, you're talking about college recruiting.
College,
okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah, the only recruiting I do is try and get some of the basketball players out. Actually, I'm thinking of coming down here, see if any of these Delphos St. John's guys would mind wearing a little different color, blue and gold.
Can't recruit from them. Come on.
Yeah, why not? I got a big backyard. We can put a tent up.
Well, let's see what Ansonia can do with 42 seconds remaining. They're going to try for the long ball possibly, too, or will they be satisfied with the final 42 seconds?
Quarterback draw.
Yep. And didn't get a whole lot out of the quarterback draw, and that may be our final play of this first quarter, or first half, I'm sorry. Officials have done a nice job tonight.
Yeah, kept the flags in their pockets. Don't need to run another play. We'll see if they do.
And they're looking at the sideline. I don't think they're going to. We're down to 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to sit in the huddle. Well,
they're down to 5 seconds. They're not going to get this one off. Our first half will come to an end here at Salina Stadium. Our score on the Lone Zone scoreboard, Delphos St. John's 42, Ansonia 7. Halftime show coming up next on Fox.
Realize you have a life. We want to work around it. Arby's is looking for people to fill a variety of positions at our 5-area restaurant. We offer premium starting wages, immediate raises, bonuses for everyone, advancement opportunities you can count on. Arby's is expanding and wants you to enjoy these growth opportunities with us. Arby's offers a 401k program with matching contributions, as well as meal benefits. Stop by any of the 4 Lima Arby's restaurants or our Bluffton restaurant for an immediate interview. We realize you have a life. We want to work around it.
And I'm Nathan Dyer. Our dads are 2 of the smartest attorneys in Dyer Couple. I need at least one rehearsal. Our dads are 2 of the smartest Say pop. Our fathers are really nice guys, and they will fight hard for you. So if you've been injured, call our dad's law firm today.
Basketball is all about teamwork and reaching goals as a team. This kind of teamwork is demonstrated by the faculty and staff at Wright State University Lake Campus. As a student, I know that their mission is to help us learn and grow to attain our goals. That's why the Lake Campus offers a variety of 2-year programs, a 4-year degree in teacher education, and a proposed new 2+2 bachelor's degree in organizational leadership. The Lake Campus team can work for you. Call or visit us today.
Other than that score, the first half you're playing great, and it seems like when they scored, it ticked you guys off. You went 2 plays and scored again.
Yeah, our defense was out there a while, and I noticed they're breathing hard, so we need to go back, do a little more conditioning this week. If the score stays the way it is, they did some good things. They saw some things they could do on us, and we're going to adjust to it here at halftime.
Well, you're half away from going to your first state semifinal. How's that feel, and what do you got to look forward to the second half?
I'm not looking there yet. I want to, have it come out another good half of football and just get better a little bit here the second half. So.
You guys are on a roll. Good job. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Scott. Halftime show being brought to you by our good friends at Van Dyne Crotty of Delphos. Uniforms that work. Let's take this 30-second timeout. When we come back, we'll have more for you from Salina Stadium right after this.
We're proud to be ranked #1 in the uniform industry. But more importantly, we've been voted #1 for 2 years right here in West Central Ohio. Let our dedicated staff make your business look like a winner with our smart and professional uniforms. Your business will look like a winner with professional uniforms delivered right to your door. Our customized entry mats will make a great first impression with all your customers. Keep your employees and your business looking sharp with Van Dyne Crotty.
Again, the St. John Blue Jays in this regional final game, Region 24, Division 6, on top of Ansonia from the Cross County League. Score 42-7, and we are enjoying our Van Dyne Crotty halftime show at this point. Let's talk to Ken Schreiner, head football coach for the Ottawa Glandorf Titans, working with me here tonight. Of course, you remember Ken from a couple of years ago. I believe it was when they played
Cincinnati, Wyoming, talking playoffs.
Yeah, is that when you did the game? You're on the sidelines?
Yeah, it was at 97. Did the playoff game down when Delphos played Norwalk St. Paul.
Right, that was it. And had a great team that year, and continuing to roll. They have won 41 straight games. And you talked about the keys prior to the game, Ken. How are things panning out?
Well, I think Delphos is winning in all phases of the game right now. I think you heard their coach. You heard Coach Schulte talk a little bit about their defense was on the field, but you got to give Ansonia a little bit of credit for that too. They found some things that they thought they could take advantage of, and they did it. Keys to the game, I said control the line of scrimmage was #1, and obviously they're doing that. We talked about that a number of times here, where Delphos is quite a bit bigger and obviously stronger, and they're pushing the line of scrimmage their way. #2, 100% ball control. Delphos does not have a turnover yet, and I know that Ansonia has at least one interception. I don't think anything else, but and also sustaining drives was important in that, and Delphos has been able to do that, even though they haven't been real long drives. They've been able to make some drives, 40-plus yard drives. And then #3, early success, and St. John's has obviously done that, 42 points in the first half. That's some early success.
Early success, middle success, late success all around for St. John's here in this football game. Looking to go to the state semifinals, and again, at the time we're filming this, we don't have any scores to check on. Last time we heard, though, Marion Local was winning over your alma mater, Tiffin Calvert, so we'll keep track of that as this game goes along. Next week, if St. John's would win, next week would be the 26th and the 27th. On Friday night, the 26th, Division 2, 3, and 5 will play in the semis. And then on Saturday night, it's going to be 1, 4, and 6. The state finals, December 3rd, Canton for 5, Massillon for 3, and Canton for 2. Then on December 4th, it's going to be Division 6, Canton, Division 4, Massillon, and Division 1 will be at Canton. Halftime show has been brought to you by our good friends at Van Dyne Crowdy of Delphos, uniforms that work. We will take this time out. When we return, we've got third quarter action coming up next on Fox.
Hi, I'm Tom Owen. I may have famous feet. I'm even more famous for my wild earring clearance sale. And it's here, your opportunity to pick from over 600 late model used factory vehicles at thousands under book value, like 99 Nias or 98 Cavaliers, just $94.99. We've got 99 Intrepid, Olds, Intrigue, or Buick Centuries for as low as $12,995, or 98 Grand Caravans, 99 Gallants, Bonnevilles, and Deltas, just $13,999. With no payments till February 2000. So be smart. Get the best values of the year now at Tom Hall's, where the deals are so good, they'll knock your socks off.
Interrupted sleep isn't just an annoyance. It's a health concern. The first thing we do at St. Rita's Sleep Lab is find out what's causing the problem. As the only accredited sleep lab in the region, we have the ability to diagnose breathing disorders that disrupt sleep and can affect health, relationships, and work. We can't promise you'll sleep like a baby, but we can develop an effective treatment plan that will make a real difference in your life.
For more information about St. Rita's Sleep Lab, call us.
WOHL, Limas Fox Station, in cooperation with the Ohio High School Athletic Association, is proud to present tonight's playoff game. A promotional fee has been paid to the OHSAA for the broadcast rights of this game. Without the support of the following businesses, this game would not have been possible. Reliable Plumbing and Heating. Call Reliable Plumbing and Heating for 24-hour emergency service at 695-2921. Reliable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Delphos, Chevrolet, Buick, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile. Delphi, your hometown dealer serving the Delphos and surrounding communities since 1946. United Equity Incorporated. And Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth, your locally owned farmers cooperative. Delphos Food Locker, now offering a variety of meats, cheeses, appetizers, and soups. A proud sponsor of local high school sports. Stop by today. Community First Bank and Trust is now offering 6.0 annual percentage yield CDs for 9 months with a minimum deposit of $500. Limited time offer which may be changed at any time. APY accurate as of announcement date for personal deposits of less than $100,000. Interest penalty for early withdrawal. WOHL Limas Fox Station congratulates all student athletes playing in the 1999 football playoffs.
Welcome back to Salina's Bulldogs Stadium as we are at the half getting ready for quarter number 3. 42-7 is our score. Delphos St. John Blue Jays on top of the Tigers from Ansonia, and we heard some halftime scores. Looks like Marion Local, I'm sorry. Too many Catholic teams around all the time. Marion Local doing a nice job over your former team, Tiffin Calvert, here tonight, Ken.
Sounds like they're up now. We're not sure exactly what the score is, but it sounds like they're getting the job done.
So that, again, could mean that these two teams, the Delphos St. John Blue Jays and the Marion Local Flyers, could be meeting here in the future, whether it's the game next week or the week after. Could be interesting.
After some of the reading we did, yeah, it could be real interesting.
I'm still kind of wondering, when you're talking about getting these two teams back together again, I don't know, a lot of folks want to see them play in a state championship game because they're both MAC schools. There's pros and cons of seeing it because, for the fan that goes to the football game that is not familiar with the MAC, the everyday fan that just comes down and watches anybody play, you don't know what their reaction to it would be as well. Maybe they would want to see a MAC team up against a team from another conference. So, again, pros and cons both ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can look at it, and regardless of what you do, you're not going to make everybody happy.
We are ready to get quarter number 3 underway. Delphos St. John's on the football field, and here come the Tigers out. And Sonia, halftime talk. What do you think they had to talk about at halftime, Coach?
Well, you're in a tough situation as a coach in halftime down 42-7, but you just got to remind your kids that you've played hard all year long. Don't quit now, and it's actually got to be a little bit of a builder for next season. You can't let your kids hang their heads. They've had an outstanding season. And, they got nothing to lose. Go out there and have some fun. I think find something to do that kind of pumps your kids up and just play hard.
St. John's going to get the football, too, to start out quarter number 3. And kicking off for Ansonia will be Jack Haddert, who has the touchdown tonight for the Tigers. Ball squibbles through. Finally, it's going to be picked up by Hershey. Hershey will go down at the 36-yard line, and he falls forward to about the 38. So the Blue Jay offense will come back out onto the field for another shot at adding some cushion to this 42-7 lead.
I think you get to this point in the game, and Delphos St. John starts working on things. Things that you feel like you might need to work on for next week, and keep doing the things you've done here to be successful, and put some more points on the board.
Phil Gunder, the center, brings them to the line of scrimmage. Scott McCormick at quarterback. On a 1st and 10 for the 38, they will go with the option. McCormick on the keeper. Nice block on Warble there by Miller, and he gets to the outside, and he will cut it back around the 30, 25, keeps on going, and we've got a flag. Looks like maybe a clip down there against the Jays. Going to bring this one back.
It looks like Ansonia made an adjustment at halftime. Instead of leaving the pitch man go, they came up and took the pitch man away right away with the corner, and quarterback kept the ball, and what a great run downfield. Unfortunately, somebody got a little carried away, but I tell you what, I like the hustle downfield. That was lineman down there making that block.
So they will bring it back. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
I'm really ticked off because I was coming out at halftime. I was talking to a couple of coaches. We was walking and talking about next week, and McCormick comes by. And I say, hey, would you start screwing up, stop throwing the ball so well? And he goes, all right, I'll try to make a mistake or two the second half so you have something to talk about. And what's he do? He busts one from about 60 yards. So I'll have to smack him around after the game. Back to you.
You ain't going to smack anybody around after the game. We can guarantee that. First down for the Jays, but shows you the speed also, Coach, of the quarterback.
Yeah, for a player that size to be able to get out there and run, he'd be a tackle for most teams.
215 pounds at 6 foot 2 inches tall. 1st and 10. Man will go in motion. That's Zach Weber. Watch him down that right sideline. They run the little pass play across the middle, and it's going to be caught and close to a touchdown, but just short by the tight end, Ryan Morris.
Got the whoever was covering the tight end, 35 Evers, he got spun around backwards, and quarterback did a nice job just laying the ball up there, giving an opportunity to catch the ball, and then he catches it and good feet to run.
Now he comes back to the huddle, hobbling a little bit, I think, on that tackle down there around the 1 yard line.
I don't know if he's hobbled, if he's just tired. A long way to run.
Oh, probably tired. So it's 1st down and goal to go from the 1. Who's going to get it this time? The fullback hasn't got one yet tonight, Adam Miller. See if they mix it up a little bit and go to the first back through. They won't. They'll give it to Weber, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown. Delphos St. John's will come at the 11-14 mark, so it took them 46 seconds to hit pay dirt. 48-7 is our score. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Delphos offense just steamrolling away, going at the smaller Ansonia defense. You got to feel for their defense. But I tell you what, halftime, Coach Schulte didn't seem too happy with his defense. I'm sure he gave him a little pep talk about that score they allowed him, because the first team defense was in there at that time, and he wasn't very happy. He thought they were a little tired and playing a little lackadaisical. So Delphos turning up a notch here, start the second half. Back to you.
Playing a little lackadaisical. Where do you get that word at? That's not a word usually from Scott Stiles' vocabulary. But anyway, the extra point goes through again by Michael Bittler. And we keep saying that as soon as they get a touchdown, they go for the extra point. I think a lot of people also take their guy who kicks the extra points for granted too, because you look at him coming to the ball game, 63 for 71. And Ken, we've seen a lot of football games this year where, and you can say Bittler's the one that kicked it through. You got a lot of the blocking, obviously, but a lot of games we've seen this year where they haven't knocked down those extra points and field goals.
You look at our season alone, we had an awful lot of games where there were missed extra points.
And worse.
Wert things. Yeah, Van Wert was one.
I think that was one of them.
We also, the game you had with us with St. Mary's was another situation where, we got into overtime because of a missed field goal attempt, I believe it was. And, you can't take those for granted. And fortunately for Delphos St. John's, they got a kid that's solid, and, you can count on him, it looks like.
Well, he's 2 for 2 for field goals this year, too. 1 from 22 and 1 from 26. You don't really need to kick too many field goals when you're scoring 50 points a game.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you sure like to have a guy on your team that you can kind of forget about. Send him over there on the side, let him kick all afternoon, forget about him, and when he shows up, you'll figure out who he is by his clean pants and his socks pulled up to his neck.
After soccer practice. Ball's taken to the 20-yard line, returned to the 30, 35, and all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Guy's pulling at the ball, too.
Nice return, that time by Steve Beisner.
Beisner seems to be the workhorse right now, special teams, and he's also doing a little bit on offense. I think they got to get him the ball a little bit more.
Sets up the first down situation from the 39-yard line. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors, CR Golf in Delphos, the Commercial Bank, locations in Delphos, Elida, and Gomer, as well as Lima, and Khedive & Sons Plumbing and Heating. Your comfort is our concern. This time, pitch. Beisner. Hey, they listened to you, Coach. They're going to the first carry.
Yeah, trying that toss play to get outside again. Delphos does a nice job of containing the outside. Nothing gets outside and let the pursuit handle it from the inside. And the linebackers are definitely pursuing and getting there to make big hits.
St. John's, I should say Ansonia this year, also played Crestview. Team that's going to be in the Northwest Conference next year. They knocked off Crestview 57-22. And I was a coach at Mendon Union. A lot of those teams right there we played down south, down there in Mercer County. Pass play, looking downfield. It's knocked down.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
What?
Mendon Union.
I was at Mendon Union for a couple of years.
Mendon Union.
JV basketball coach. Didn't do very well, but we play. I remember playing In fact, here's some trivia for you, Ken.
Okay.
The Mendon Union Pirates had lost like 180 games in a row or something like that at one point. We went down and played in a tournament at Tri-County North and won our first game of the season to snap that 300-game losing streak. And we had fire trucks leading us back into town and the whole deal.
I heard it was all coaching.
Oh, look at this. Got a blitz on that outside, and they bring him down. You've got a couple of guys in there for the Blue Jay defense. Rocky Klaus was the one breathing down the hardest, though, number 48.
The entire Delphos St. John's defense was pointing something out. Something on their scouting report was they identified something was going on. I have no idea what it was, but guys were pointing all over the field. They knew something was going to happen there and got pressure on the quarterback and bring him down.
But I can tell you one thing. You don't say the name Mendon Union around Blue Jay fans.
Okay.
They had a big upset. St. John's back in the 70s.
I can honestly say I don't think I'm going to say Mendon Union a whole lot, period.
Well, they don't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
Punt now situation for Ansonia. And it's going to bounce 34-yard line, and they'll get out of the way, and they'll let it come to rest. Yeah, they consolidated. They folded their doors, closed their doors, and went and got with Parkway. Then folks went and headed over to Parkway High School. That was my last year at Mendon Union, by the way.
Okay. It's good to know.
Thanks. I like to keep you updated.
We'll run down my resume.
You know what? You and Mike Richards, who does games with me, been to more places than anybody I've ever seen before.
Well-traveled.
You coached like at 12 schools, didn't you? Huh?
7.
7. I knew that was close. St. John's with the football. 1st and 10. They go with the toss to look at this. He lost a yard.
Playing games up front. They had a slant or a pinch on and good penetration.
That means the ball is going to be moved back about 2 yards, and it's going to set up a 2nd down. They're going to need about 12 to pick up the first. 9 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in our 3rd quarter. It is 49-7, Delphos St. John's, coming off a 49-8 win last week. But they're not done yet. Keeper by McCormick. Look at this. Big hole up the middle and a nice tackle. Looked like Beisner got in there. Tripped him up.
They're over-pursuing. The defense is over-pursuing, and that's allowing the quarterback to cut back. You got to give credit to the center and the backside guard and tackle. They're sealing things off on the backside, not allowing pursuit to come down the line and get to the quarterback.
You know, in Division 6, St. John's won that mythical championship this year. Tiffin Calvert was number 2, Ken. Mogador 3, Country Day 4, and Independence 5. And Sonia did not break the top 20, break into the top 20 in Division 6. Doesn't mean a whole lot then, does it?
No. Middle of the field is wide open again. There it goes.
There he goes. 3rd down and 3. They give it to Miller this time. Miller all the way down to the 25-yard line. We knew sooner or later that it was Miller time. Adam Miller gets the handoff and the carry. Carries it a long, long way. The 6'2", 196-pound sophomore.
Wow. It's an impressive run. He drug a guy down there too.
We're getting our calculators out to see how far that was.
I don't have fingers.
Got to do my gazintas. 41 yards. Ever see Jethro?
Oh yeah.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, yeah.
5 goes into 10 twice.
We got a few of those math teachers around.
Yeah. Out of the I formation, they go with the toss to Weber. There he goes. Gets back to the outside. Keeps on going. One guy. Look at the block by... Who was it over there? Number 24 for Delphos St. John's. That was John Odenweller, who put a fantastic block on for Zach Weber. Gets himself another touchdown. Ding, ding, ding. 55-7 our score now. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Well, you know what kind of game we're having when Carl's going through his entire resume since junior high. But Odenweller, you don't see that too much by it. Split end, getting a pancake block, and that's what happened there. Spun Zinger in for a touchdown. So, Coach, I'm ready for you for your resume. I'm sure you started out at New Knoxville High School coaching football. Then went to Bodkins.
And then Otsego. There's a snap. Kick is up, and this one's going to be blocked. So the extra point will not be any good this time. And the score will remain 55-7. But another nice series of plays for Delphos St. John's, and they're heading to the state semis. Let's talk about your resume, Ken. Seriously, because coaches nowadays, you know, you don't see the Tim Goodwins come along too often where you jump in your first season and you go to what could possibly be the state semis, and you got Todd Schulte. It'd be a neat story, wouldn't it? You got first-year coaches coming in, both taking their teams all the way like this. But you were kind of had some mentors to help you out along the way, had a chance to coach at some fine high schools, and then you get your big shot at OG.
Yeah, I've been a little bit everywhere. I like to say I learned a lot from a lot of good people. I actually started off when I was still in college at Bowling Green. I started off over at Liberty Benton and coached with a guy by the name of Bob Meyer. Learned a lot about power football over there. Spent a year in Tiffin at Tiffin University. Coached in Tiffin University with my old high school coach, Buzz Kirkhart. Then as I was teaching at Calvert, I moved to Tiffin Calvert at my second year and spent 2 years there.
By the way, folks, this will take the whole rest of the third quarter, so we'll get back to it here in a second.
Time to go get a pop. And
bounces at the 10, picked up. This is Hartzell. Look at this. Got some running room. Gets to the middle to the 36-yard line. Nice job by the running back, Derek Hartzell, for Ansonia, as he gives the Tigers a little bit better field position to start out. Go ahead, Ken.
Good hard run right up the middle.
Sorry I interrupted you.
Let's see, where else have I been? I've spent a time up in Cleveland area at Lakewood High School, Orange High School, Euclid High School, and then was offered the job down at OG and happy to take it.
Dave Dessenberg up here said that, of course, Dave was at Huron. He's one of the assistant coaches for St. John's. You guys have a little bit of connection in that area.
Yeah, when I was at Calvert, we used to battle Huron quite often. Nice hit. Boy, nice hit.
Rocky Clausen there, too, that time for Delphos St. John's, and doing a nice job with the containment. Who else is down? That's Rocky getting up off the ground right now.
I keep seeing Ardner, 50 Ardner. Every time I turn around, he's making a big hit. Somebody turns him back inside, and Ardner's making a polish-off hit.
Now, you just played the offense, didn't you?
Yeah, you know what? What's really funny is we're sitting here, I'm talking about defense. My coaches at home, Coach Jors and Coach Snyder, they're laughing like crazy, me talking about defense.
There's a toss all the way out, and then he cuts it back up the middle. And the Blue Jay defense there one more time.
I have a tendency not to watch a whole lot of the defense. We had a game, second to last game of the year, I think it was, About halfway through the fourth quarter, I suggested to our defensive coordinator about running a specific defense, and he told me that we'd been doing it for about the past 6 drives in a row.
Got to pay. That's that Wolfpack defense, too.
Wolfpack did a pretty good job at times this year. Got to get better.
3rd down and 4 from the 42-yard line. 6:22 remaining. The quarterback goes back to pass, looking downfield, and it's going to be incomplete.
Kyle Jackson just took their offensive left guard, I believe, and picked him up and threw him about 3 yards. He hurt. He is hurting right now.
And that is number 60. If that's their right guard, he's messing with one of their best players on the team. That's Kenny Edwards. We talked about Kenny on the defense. Kenny's their leading tackler, 127 tackles and 6 sacks. He's their right guard at 5'11", 215 pounds. Now, Kyle is 6'1", 250 pounds. Let's go down to Scott Stiles. Forgot his name. Scott.
Thanks, Mr. Metzger. I'll get a word, see what happened. Coach, you're right. They threw him about three yards back. I've never seen a big fella fly that way, except you probably when you're playing the Miami of Ohio or somebody like that.
Bowling Green, he and Rich Dacken were very close.
I know. I'm saying when he played Miami of Ohio.
When he played them. I didn't catch your gist there. Sorry. Punting situation now. It's going to be Hartzell getting his foot into it.
Good kick.
All the way back to the 17-yard line, and then look who's down there again. I tell you, this Beisner's a tough one.
Yeah, making plays on special teams, getting a little extracurricular, and the St. John's Blue Jays don't like a whole lot of that.
Now, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
In there trying to mix it up with him was Joe Kapkar, who's 202 pounds, and Beisner checking in at about 165.
Next thing you know, that Blue Jays offense starts to find where he's at on the field and make him look bad, too. You better be careful.
Got the second team, Ken. This is where you got to get your roster out. You help me out a little bit. And this is the 3rd quarter with 5:22 remaining. And St. John's on top, 55-7.
Godey's at center. I see that.
Adam Johnson is the quarterback, number 7. He's a sophomore, 165 pounds. Just start picking numbers out, and you tell us who they are.
54, Bill Kramer, right guard.
Notice you mentioned see those offensive linemen right away, don't you?
Absolutely. That's right.
Keeper by Johnson, and he's not going to go anywhere. He loses a couple of yards.
71, right tackle, Nick Menke.
Also out there was number 20, Matt Conley, Jr. Number 16, Casey Klaus, sophomore.
62, left guard, Weston Morris.
Number 3, Andy Kill, sophomore.
And 68, left tackle, is Jason Tiemann.
Ryan Munner's out there, number 88. Ryan is a junior.
I got all the important guys.
And this is Bowers running the football. He tries to get to the outside. Look at him continue to go, and he better go down. Those are the ones you stand you straight up, and all of a sudden somebody busts through there and get a nice injury.
Yeah, find a hole to crawl into, don't?
Nice injury. That's one of those oxymorons.
Nice injury. What'd you call me?
Oak Styles up, I'm sure, down there. Down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Again, we'd like to thank some more of our sponsors making it possible. We're here tonight. Central Soya Company, 234 South Jefferson in Delphos. Quick Change Oil and Lube, 111 Westwood Drive in Van Wert. And the Citizens Bank of Delphos at 114 East 3rd Street. Make sure to stop on by and say hi to all those great sponsors. Do some business with them. They go at the pitch, and Bowers, I believe, is a ball carrier. Gets tackled down at the 20-yard line, and St. John's is going to have to punt.
Looks like the first punt team's coming out.
St. John's state champions 2 years in a row. State finalist in 94. Of course, 99 as well. Runners-up have not been runners-up.
Bauer's a little slow getting off the field there. I'm not sure if he got shaken up or what.
Doug Martz is ready to punt. Standing around his 7-yard line. He gets it off, and it's a low kick taken at the 48. And Beisner returns it down to about the 48 the other way.
Nice tackle by Hershey.
His opposite number 12. Let's check the defense out here. Looks like we got a couple of new guys in there. Let's pick some of them out. Jeff Klaus, 86. Number 61 is Schwinnen. He's still in there. 69, Jackson's in there. 22, Grotehouse. Yep, looks like we got most of the guys in there. Down to 3 minutes and 7 seconds. 55-7 is our score. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Derek Bargy, the quarterback, and the Blue Jay defense all over that one.
Kyle Jackson is absolutely on a mission. He took the whichever offensive lineman, drove him into the ball carrier, and started picking people, figure out which one had the ball later.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Absolutely.
So you never did play defense. Is that what you told me then? Huh?
In high school, I played defense.
High school.
Yeah.
That was several years ago.
Yeah, many moons ago.
Were you always center on the offense?
Oh, I played a little bit of everything offensively.
2nd down, 13 from the 49. Pass play, Bargy, and he's not going to get a chance.
Just doesn't have the time. Play action just doesn't have the time.
You know who got him that time? 69, Kyle Jackson.
All over the field.
All 250 pounds of him. How big were you in high school? Playing weight, that is.
6'3", about 250, 240, 250. I played tight end in high school.
Oh, you've lost weight since then. That's kind of nice.
Don't go there.
How big were you in college?
About 285, 290.
Wow.
Jackson going off the field there. Give him a hot dog. He deserves it.
A couple of them.
See if we can get Scott to give him a hot dog down there.
3rd down and 19 from the 43, and we've got whistles.
Looks like we got equipment of some sort.
And we mentioned Rich Dakin was a quarterback for you at Bowling Green. Rich used to be a partner of mine up here on Fox. Did a year's worth of football, now over at Bath with Jerry Cooper and the gang.
Yeah, we get a chance to meet up with Rich every so often.
Is it true that Rich never had a hair out of place when he was quarterback for you guys?
I'll tell you, Rich, you hear stories about strange guys out on the field and out on the practice field. It's the only guy I ever saw, quarterbacks, we make fun of them. It's the only guy I ever saw come out on the practice field with a pink jersey.
Why do you have a pink jersey?
He was a quarterback.
Styles was a quarterback.
Was he? He probably had a fuchsia jersey.
He was quarterback at Walpock High School. Then I think he played at Allegheny or somewhere after that.
Screen.
Setting up the screen on that right side. Hartzell, he gets through 1, 2, and finally goes down close to the original line of scrimmage.
Good pursuit, backside. 74. Hemke, is that how you say his name?
Hemker.
Hemker.
Hemke, I think, is the mayor of Fort Wayne, isn't he? That's Hemke.
He was rushing the quarterback, turned around, pursued, and got the tackle from the backside. Great hustle play.
4th down situation. St. John's going to have to punt. We've got the two mainstays back there, Fisher and Hershey. Hartzell, nice kick. Down to Fisher, and he takes it, puts a move on, puts 2 moves on, and he finally will go down at around the 20-yard line. Let's go down to Scott Stiles on the sideline.
It's about time.
Well, we're kind of...
I got tons of material to talk about here. Kenny Edwards will be out for the rest of the game. He's had a lower back strain for the last 3 weeks. He landed on his tailbone, and it's pretty painful. He's got a towel over his head. He will not be back in the game. Coach Schreiner.
Yes, sir.
You went from 6'3", 250 to 6'2", 285. Now, what the heck's the problem there?
Is that what he said?
I've never heard of it. Yeah, I got a stat down here. I've never heard of anybody shrink in my life.
It's called meal table.
Usually you're 65 when you start shrinking.
Well, you get pounded all the time by the linebackers. You're going to shrink a little bit. Out of the I formation again, the Blue Jays with the football. Johnson with the pitch, and pick up maybe a yard or so.
A little bit of extracurricular going on there. I'm not sure what was going on.
What'd you see?
Something over on the sideline. Official staring right at him. Somebody looked like a late hit or...
With 27 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter. I'd like to thank Tom All, family of automotive dealerships, where you always find knock your socks off deals. Second down 9 for the 22. This will be the final play of this 3rd quarter. They pitch the ball back. Look at Bowers go. He may go all the way. Splits him, and and he will be caught from behind. Going down to the 25-yard line, and a touchdown-saving tackle by Kyle Warble as quarter number 3 comes to an end. We have played 3. Our score on the Lone Zone scoreboard, St. John's 55 and Sonia 7. Fourth quarter action coming up next on Fox.
Tonight's the night I'm going to pop the question.
So did you get the ring yet?
No. I wanted to get her something that says, I'm really in this for the long haul. It's a trade. What? I'm making a commitment here.
Trust your home to a full-service trained professional like Canadian Sons Plumbing and Heating Kaleida. They have the experience you want and the service you expect. And remember, it's hard to stop a train.
The soybean is considered one of the world's most efficient and affordable sources of food and food protein. Central Soya Company in Delphos is one of our nation's leading manufacturers of oilseed products. A vast array of products are derived from this oilseed, such as baby food, cookies, non-stick cooking spray, soup, breakfast mix, and more. We take pride in our role as a corporate citizen and look forward to future community service. Central Soya Company, serving our customers, our community, and our employees.
Basketball is all about teamwork and reaching goals as a team. This kind of teamwork is demonstrated by the faculty and staff at Wright State University Lake Campus. As a student, I know that their mission is to help us learn and grow to attain our goals. That's why the Lake Campus offers a variety of 2-year programs, a 4-year degree in teacher education, and a proposed new 2+2 bachelor's degree in organizational leadership. The Lake Campus team can work for you. Call or visit us today.
For years, since you were a very small child, we've been helping your family. Always there, quietly providing support when it was needed. Now it's your turn. A family of your own, with all the joys and responsibilities that families bring. And we're still right here, where we've always been.
Citizens Bank of Delphos, your hometown bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Something cooking at the Carriage Inn in Delphos. Whether it's soups, salads, sandwiches, lunch, or dinner, the Carriage Inn in Delphos has home-cooked recipes for all ages. Lots to choose from on the sandwich board. There's a different kind of soup in the kettle every day, and the dinner entrees are magnifique. A Friday night tradition in Delphos is Carriage Inn fish, all you care to eat, and plenty of sides to go with it. If you can find room, sample a piece of homemade pie, baked daily, at the Carriage Inn, 1201 East 5th Street in Delphos.
Well, St. John's 12 minutes away from going to the state semis again. Right now, it looks like that's going to happen. 55-7 is our score. That last carry was for 53 yards by Jordan Bowers.
Great block on the play by Nick Menke, number 71. They had a blitz on. He just sealed the inside and gave him a seam.
Well, let's see what happens on a 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line. This time it's Johnson at quarterback. In the backfield, you got number 42, who they just gave the football to. That's Brad Utrip. We've seen a lot of Brad the last couple of weeks, and Brad and those guys in the second team have been playing a lot lately. Also, we'll see a lot of Ian Weber, number 38. He's in the backfield right now as well. Second down, 5 yards to go to pick up the first. The ball resting at the 20-yard line. Carl Metzger, Scott Stiles, and Ken Schreiner, head football coach for the Ottawa Glandorf Titans, with us here on Fox tonight. Johnson with the keeper, picks up a couple.
I'm not sure if they're true reading that option or not, but the fullback sure seems to want to take the ball away from the quarterback.
Pretty tight, isn't it? St. John's averaging 47 points a game this year. They've jumped over that, 55 points tonight. And Sonia came in averaging 37 points a game, well short of that mark. Again, Bowers in the backfield with Utrip. They'll pitch it to Bowers. Gets to the outside, and he goes down short of the first down. Some of the fans for St. John's have started to leave.
I don't know if those are St. John's fans on the far ends. I think those are the outsiders that come to watch the game.
Not much blue and gold over there, is it? Nice crowd, though, here tonight. Really, where we're at, we can't see down at the Ansonia side, but when we were coming up before, they came out in large numbers. 4th down, they need 2 to pick up the first. They pitch to Bowers, makes the cut, and he will be right at the 15-yard line.
First down.
Looks like they're going to give it to him. Let's go down to Scott Stiles on the sideline.
It's going to be close, but I tell you what, Jordan Bowers is very lucky. He has stood up there on the play, and a Ansonia guy came in from the backside and got him right in the knee. As you see him, he's coming off the field, because I tell you what, that looked like that hurt. Could have had some serious knee damage there if he wasn't careful, but luckily he didn't. He's off. He's having another heck of a game 2 weeks in a row. He's running hard, getting big chunks of yardage. When Zinger needs a breather, you can count on that guy, because he's going to get you some good hard runs. Back to you.
Remember, Ken Schreiner going to pick our player of the game. When this one's over, we'll go out on the field and talk to that player of the game, sponsored by our good friends at the Commercial Bank. Band will go in motion. Now Johnson will go with the pitch to Weber. This is Ian Weber, and he gets down around the 15 or the 10-yard line. Can't see that far anymore, Ken.
I'm having trouble with this wall in front of me.
It's like being at the old Municipal Stadium up in Cleveland. You got those big pillars in front of you.
Find a post.
And so it is going to be a 2nd down and 5.
I'm pretty impressed you haven't pulled out your snowsuit yet.
No, it's not that cold yet. I'm pretty tough in terms of cold weather.
Oh, okay.
Johnson will go with the first back through, and Utrip's going to pick up a couple of more yards. Going to set up a 3rd down. This is what St. John's is trying to do here the final 8 minutes and 48 seconds. Just eat some of that clock up.
Score, but take a lot of time off the clock.
You opened it up in a pretty good fashion this year, didn't you?
Second half of the season we did. We went to a trip set. We had trouble running the ball. I think we were last or second to last in the league on rushing, and we ended up throwing the ball all over the place. I had no idea.
He had a couple quarterbacks too. 3rd down and 2, and they go with the handoff and a pickup of 5 yards or so, it looks like. So it's going to be another 1st down for Delphos St. John's. 1st down and goal to go.
It's a rugby scrum at the end of that play.
Rugby. Now, what were your 2 quarterbacks?
Derek Warren is a senior. He started off as a quarterback. When you had our St. Mary's game, he ran the ball all over the place
option
for us.
Quarterback, yeah.
Option quarterback. And then our second half of the year, Tony Ball came back. He was our starter as a sophomore. He had a knee injury early in the year. Came back second half of the year and did an outstanding job for us.
He could throw.
Yeah, and we exploited that a little bit.
Well, let's see what happens. You got Utrip and Bowers in the backfield. 1st down and goal to go from the 3. They'll go with Bowers. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Touchdown comes at the 7:48 mark of our 4th quarter. It is now 61-7, Delphos St. John's.
Yes.
What do you think, Ken?
Well, I'll tell you what. This is a juggernaut. Looking at the things that they do, even their and that's one thing that I have said all along about the advantage of being in the playoffs at this point, dressing as many guys as they do. Delphos St. John's has right at this point 3 extra weeks to practice with these young kids too, and that's a program builder.
Ryan Schmidt could not connect on the extra point. Coldwater gets beat tonight, we should mention. 35-0 was the final by Oak Harbor, so there will not be 3 MAC state champions. One of them has just been eliminated.
That's the 4th quarter, Coldwater.
Okay, well, it's a 4th quarter score, not a final, but it looks as though Coldwater has been eliminated, so that means that it's up to St. Henry, Marion Local, and Delphos St. John's now. And I tell you one thing, St. Henry's got a great shot as well.
I haven't had the opportunity to see St. Henry this year, but I know the tradition is there, and they play good hard football. And obviously, in the conference that they're playing, and they have to play pretty tough ball.
And you know what's ironic about that whole thing is that when St. John's and St. Henry got together this year, St. John's beat them 48-7.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
I'm here with Craig and Sandy. We're making our order for next week. I told Craig I need some vanilla ice cream for that apple turnover, and we'll be good to go. How you doing, guys?
Hi, Craig. Hi, Sandy.
And on the other hand, Phil Gunder just brought me up a sucker. Now, what the heck's he doing carrying a sucker during a football game? These big guys, they said, Mr. Stiles, here's a sucker. Thanks for mentioning me last week. No problem, Phil. Now get your butt back over on the sideline.
Well, something strange. They're calling you Mr. Stiles.
And that's something. That's what you call respect,
They
pal.
don't know you very well, do they? 25 to the 30 and out to about the 33-yard line, and that is where Ansonia will set up shop with 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in this ball game.
A lot of new bodies out there again.
Yeah. Let's see what Ansonia does here with, well, they've got 34 on the roster, so
they can't go
too deep with them, but maybe they still got their starting quarterback in.
Start pulling people out of the stands.
Derek Bargy. And let's see, looks like they still have their starting unit in there. They do. Well, I tell you, Bargy's uniform's still pretty white out there, isn't it?
Yeah, he hasn't been doing the workload.
Fake reverse, and they stick with the carry by Hartzell, and he goes down against this second-team defense. Might as well tell you about some of the players out there for St. John's in the defense. Scott Seaver, number 11. You got number 66. Chad Martin is out there. Chad, one of their very good defensive players for St. John's. Number 6, Keith Fisher. Number 56 is Paul Klima. Number 74 is Doug Hemker. Number 26, Greg McCann, as they'll go with the counter to Beisner.
McCann just made the play.
Also in there's number 80, that is Matt Siefker. 23, Craig Baldoff. Bowers is in there. 31 is Brad Burlesman. I get everybody yet, Ken?
I don't know. I saw 87 Haddard for Ansonia just kind of wobble off the field, hanging his shoulder a little bit. He might be hurting.
They've been knocked around pretty good tonight.
That is one white jersey out there. You're right. 14. You got a white jersey out there.
Well, he really hasn't run, the option very much tonight to have to get. Oh, nice catch by Warble down that left sideline. Nice job, Kyle Warble.
Good touch pass, too.
And really, the defense for St. John's usually get a lot of sacks and knock the quarterback around a lot, but that hasn't happened a lot tonight either. Well, also out there, they've got a white jersey in there. Might have just came in. Looks like number 37, Matt Leeper. See him coming in there?
Yes, sir. You look at the quarterback, though. The back of his jersey's a little bit dirty.
Yeah, the back of it. Rich Dakin, when he played quarterback for Bowling Green, probably had that problem too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had a lot of problems.
As you as center, huh? That's Hartzell, and he's going to get down inside the 40-yard line as time is ticking away. We're down to 6 minutes. 6 minutes remaining, 61-7. Let me check something here. This will be the third time this year that St. John's has scored over 60 points. Had 69 against Tenora. They had 76 against Minster, and now they've got 61 against Ansonia. And this time it goes to Hartzell, and he scoots his way inside the 35-yard line.
Good misdirection play in the backfield there.
I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors, United Equity Incorporated in Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth. Your locally owned farmer cooperative. Community First Savings and Loan Service, that's first. And Wright State University Lake Campus in Salina. Hand off Hartzell, and they're just letting Hartzell eat this last remaining couple of minutes that they have left in their season. Let's check and congratulate for the Ansonia Tigers, the seniors going out this year. Steve Beisner, Derek Bargy, the quarterback. Also Derek Hartzell, number 24. Craig Wagner, 28. Also seniors on the squad, Kenny Edwards, an outstanding football player, as well as Jason Evers, Alan Rissmiller, and Robert Singer. Great season for those seniors.
And this is the time you give your seniors a chance to play and, keep them in the ball game as long as you can. They deserve it.
Nice hole, and the tackle in there by number 26, and that is Greg McCann again for Delphos St. John's. You looking over that roster trying to find a player of the game?
Yeah, player of the game. Who knows?
It's always tough, isn't it?
Yeah. I've never had to do. The pressure's really on here. Yeah.
You got to pick an offensive lineman, probably, don't you?
You told me you didn't have a side. I'll tell you what, guys.
The shirt's not real big.
When you watch this show, every offensive and defensive lineman, Carl Metzger would not let me pick one of you because I'd have picked every one of you.
We only got one shirt, though.
I think there should have.
Oh, look at this. Wide open down the middle. Touchdown for the Tigers. Touchdown will go to Robert Singer, the 6'1 senior, and he finishes up his career with a touchdown to make it 61-13. Let's go down to Scott Stiles.
Well, you got the second, third team defensive guys in there giving a good effort, but that's a good way to capitalize a score here. Well, I'm talking like Shriner. I think I went to Bowling Green.
Capsize.
Well, we get
a bit of capsize. I tell you, it's on this boat slowly sinking.
Down.
That's right.
What was your point anyway?
What a way to top off an evening.
Okay.
All right. You know, you want to at least leave on a positive note after getting drubbed like this.
61-13 is our score right now as the official talking things over with the Ansonia team. And as I mentioned before, and as soon as this one's over, we're going to go down the sideline. The Commercial Bank, where you are always a winner, will be our sponsor. Always, Ken.
Always.
And I think Ken, as he points to the roster, has picked out his player of the game. We'll save that for the surprise as soon as this one is over.
By the way, Scott Stiles down there with his Wapak quarterback. I got one of those on my staff now.
Who's that?
Darren Fox.
Oh, that's right. Fox, who played at Bluffton College.
Yeah, played at Bluffton.
Oh, he was a lot better than Scott Stiles.
I hope so.
Stiles was an option quarterback, not by choice, only because he had to get out of the pocket all the time.
An option quarterback meaning it was an option if he was going to do anything? Or?
It was an option the coach played him. I think his coach was his dad. I'm not sure. Point for the extra point. They fake it. Hartzell wants to throw. Got a couple receivers, and they will get the two-point conversion to Warble. Nice play, and that's something they could have probably tried a few more times tonight.
Yeah, a little trickery. And that's one of those things you got to do. When you're down like this, find something to have fun. You know, find something to have fun. It doesn't look real good as far as Delphos is concerned, and they might not be real happy about that, but give your team an opportunity to have a little bit of fun and cap off a great season. Yeah, Darren Fox is one of those reasons that we threw the ball all over the place. I have no idea what we were doing.
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't know anything about the defense. The offense, you're saying you have no idea the offense. So what did you do, Ken?
You know, I carried a whistle around in practice.
You look good.
Yeah, I didn't even look good. I can't even claim that.
I was trying to be nice.
And the coaches told me when I got here I got a great face for radio.
We'll get you a Fox mug as soon as this one's over for helping us out tonight. We appreciate it.
Pardon the
we don't have any left? I'm sorry.
They can't even give me a mug.
How about our cameraman, Ronnie Coons? He's got a brand new hat today. Maybe he'll give you his hat. Or a hug.
Ronnie would probably give me the shirt off his back. He's a good guy. I don't know about you guys.
Boy, you don't know Ron too well, do you?
Yeah, Ron and I are tight.
We just got to hurry up and get back to OG for some basketball. You guys going to have those tailgate parties before basketball games, too?
I don't know.
You heard the story about the sausage, and they tried to think they couldn't eat their hot sausage over there.
Oh, yeah, the gauntlet. They dropped it on you, didn't they?
Let me see. The first time we are at OG this year, December the 18th, as they play LCC. That's not at OG. That's at LCC. Let's see. Lima Senior?
No, it's at Lima Senior.
Usually they play at Lima Senior.
Yeah, I know. I meant against that team. You know what? I don't even see you guys on our schedule. There they are. Elida at OG. That's towards the end of the season.
Basketball team's working hard right now. I stopped by and watched practice, and Dave Sweet and I get along real well.
Dave told me he didn't like you, though.
I know. Nobody likes me.
I see him out on the football field all the time now with his jersey on.
He better like me. I got both of his sons playing for me.
Ball is covered there by Brad Utrip, and St. John still has 4 minutes and 6 seconds to work with. Fox will kick off the high school football season, basketball season. It's getting to be a long night. Lincoln View at Perry on December the 10th, right, Scott? Unless there's no state game to go to. On the 3rd and 4th, we're supposed to start out with New Knoxville at New Bremen. I'm pretty sure there will be. And then on December 4th, Minster at Spencerville.
Yeah, this game's getting long. You worked that sucker right down to the stick.
Johnson goes with a pitch, and Ian Weber gets to the outside. He's got one guy to beat. He's not going to get him. Toby had his hands on him and was unable to bring him down, and Ian just squirted on by, but does get pulled down because he slowed him down a little bit.
Yep, did enough to slow him down and get some help.
By the way, next Friday and Saturday, we'll be recording on Tuesday our Fox High School Basketball Preview Show with my good buddy Bob Arnzen and my other buddy Ray Etzler. Make sure to tune in next Friday and Saturday to find out who they think are going to be the top teams from around the area. Being brought down around the 40-yard line is going to be number 32, and that is Elliott Hall, who is a sophomore.
Even down to sophomore level, you can see these guys have a lot of patience. They wait for blocks to develop. They make nice cuts, and ball security is important too. They double up with the ball and put it away and don't put it on the ground.
Down to 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Adam Johnson, the sophomore, looking over the defense. Goes with a pitch to Weber. Let's see if he can cut it this time. He's to the outside, and he's going to go down around the 25-yard line. So this second-team offense hoping to score again before this one's over.
Casey Klaus did a nice job on the outside, holding that block for a long time again. Receiver just stalk blocking, getting in his face, and the ball comes right from the center of the field all the way out to where you're at. You're holding a block for a long time.
And Sonia is going to bow out of the tournament. Computer playoffs with a record of 9-4 this season. St. John's will continue at 13-0. This will be their 42nd consecutive victory. That's a lot of wins, Ken.
Absolutely.
In a row.
That's a career for a lot of coaches.
Down to 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Now, I don't want you to get scared, but after this game, they fire off fireworks.
All right.
So you got to be careful.
I don't get scared of a lot of things. The refrigerator just came into the ball game.
Let's get on to Scott Stiles with a story about the refrigerator.
Well, I'm not about the only thing that feels like a refrigerator is Coach Schulte. He just got dumped with water.
Oh?
Marston's guys go, hey, look at here, we're going to dump some water. So I've been standing here for a half hour waiting for him to dump this water. I said, it's time to dump the water. He goes, okay, and sure enough, they just dumped it.
How come you weren't in there with him like you usually are?
Hey, let's get another thing straightened out here. Coach Schreiner, talking about Coonsy giving the shirt off your back, well, that'd fit the left side of your body, and I'll give you a Carl shirt that fit the right side.
Hey, as long as I get a shirt, it doesn't matter.
Hey, in all seriousness.
This ought to be good.
This is going to bring some tears to people's eyes, or at least a video VCR, because I'm sure they're taping anything right now.
You going to capitalize something over there or what?
First of all, Otto was a doormat till you came, right? Basically. And you've done a heck of a job bringing that program, because people are excited about football again. They're cooking out again. Before, I remember when I played there, we'd pull over there, there'd be nobody around. I got we hope we picked the right spot to play tonight.
I think...
but you've done a good job, and I tell you what, you got that town excited about football again, and we'll see you next year, because you're not doing another game with us, I know that. Nothing left to eat tonight or nothing.
Oh, another nice run, and down inside the 5-yard line. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Give this one to number 32, Elliott Hall, who we mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. He makes it now 67-15. Delphos St. John's on top. They're scoring from everywhere, Ken.
Everybody's scoring. I'll tell you, that was, again, a nice cut. Crossed the grain of the field, cut back, and broke it into the open, even broke a couple tackles.
And now trying to kick the extra point. Last time it didn't go through. Ryan Schmidt, the freshman. Hold from Johnson, the quarterback. Everything is there. The kick is up, and I think he's going to nail it.
It's good.
And it goes into the marching band section, and it is good. So we have a score now of 68-7. Delphos St. John's on top in a regional championship game. 68-15. Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say? 7?
No, short.
Oh, I'm sorry. 68-15. Help me out, Ken.
I missed it. I'm still miffed over what Scott said. Did you tell him I was threatening him at halftime or what? It was awful
well,
nice
I
of him
think,
to say.
you know,
He wants to come back and eat more food.
He's afraid that I'm going to get you do sidelines during the state championship game. He likes walking up and down the sidelines.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He's afraid I'm going to stick him up here or make him stay at home or something. Because, you know, I'm his boss. You realize, don't you, Ken?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, Scott over here, Scott Brinkman, our producer, and in fact, Kunzi's his boss, too. We used to just let him hang around with us, you know. He'd come to the ball games, and we'd let him keep stats and stuff. And
kind of like a puppy, you can't get rid of him.
Then he started jumping on our legs, and we haven't got rid of him since. I think they gave him a job at this station, cleaning offices and stuff, too. I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, Delphos St. John's up big time, 68-15, and in about a minute, 11 seconds, we're going to go down on the field, and we're going to talk to our player of the game, sponsored by the Commercial Bank. Let's see who got a chance to kick off that time. I believe it was Casey Klaus, number 16. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors who helped us out tonight over here at Salina. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here, bringing you this action from the regional finals. Hard to believe that we may only have 2 more games left this season, and then it's all over until next August. You guys like getting rid of one of the scrimmages and doing this?
It's tough. I tell you, you never feel prepared in the beginning of the season anyway. We're in a tough situation next year because our school starts even earlier. We got classes that start even earlier next year, so the state is now allowing us to start practice any earlier, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. Somehow, some way, it's going to start, and we're going to be ready, so we aren't going to complain. We're just going to get it done.
First down and 10 for the 35-yard line. They've got a new quarterback in there as well. And the quarterback is number 18. And that is Adam Kasier.
35, Zach Evers on the play.
You know, Kasier's not a big guy either. 5'7", 125 pounds.
There aren't a whole lot of big people in white jerseys out here today. Yeah, we got a new guy in with a white jersey. Looks a little confused. Help him out.
Second down, 4. We're down to probably the final play of this football game, unless they huddle up quick. And Oak Harbor did defeat Coldwater tonight. The final score was 35-6, so they did get a touchdown in there at the end of the football game. Still looking for that Marion local score. And last time we heard it, they were in great shape. They were up 28-6 or something like that, I think. So looks like both St. John's and Marion local are going to advance. And what's going to be interesting is to find out who they're going to play, who's going to match up with who next week.
Stay tuned.
They did huddle up quick. They're going to get another play in, and this will be the final football play of this ball game. As running the football was number 30, Dustin Hecht, and that's going to do it. The Delphos St. John Blue Jays will advance to the state semis along with the St. Henry Redskins as they defeat the Ansonia Tigers by the final score of 68-15. We've got coming up next our player of the game for our post-game show right after these very important words on Fox.
Pleasant good evening, everyone. Our top sports story tonight, the Commercial Bank. The team at the Commercial Bank works hard at providing their customers with top-notch service. Here we have Cindy handing off the keys for a new car to another satisfied customer. That deserves an instant replay. Other than personal loans, the Commercial Bank playbook is filled with other products and services that are designed to help you do more with your money. Don't pass up this opportunity to become a part of the Commercial Bank team where you will walk away a winner.
Let's face it, cars need oil to run, right? You have to change your oil for optimum performance, so why not have it done at Quick Change Oil and Lube? They'll not only change your oil with top-quality Castrol products, but they'll also clean your windshield, vacuum your floor, check all your fluid levels, and check your tire pressure, too. Best of all, no appointment is necessary. Quick Change Oil and Lube with 2 locations, North Perry Street in Ottawa and Westwood Drive in Van Wert. Your car will thank you for it.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could synchronize traffic to your every movement? If you could do away with all obstacles? Even make trains run on your schedule? Like that at Shell, where our stations are designed so nothing slows you down. Shell, moving at the speed of life.
WOHL Limas Fox Station, in cooperation with the Ohio High School Athletic Association, is proud to present tonight's playoff game. A promotional fee has been paid to the OHSAA for the broadcast rights of this game. Without the support of the following businesses, this game would not have been possible. Reliable Plumbing and Heating. Call Reliable Plumbing and Heating for 24-hour emergency service at 695-2921. Reliable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Delphos, Chevrolet, Buick, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile. Delphi, your hometown dealer serving the Delphos and surrounding communities since 1946. United Equity Incorporated. In Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth, your locally owned farmers cooperative. Delphos Food Locker, now offering a variety of meats, cheeses, appetizers, and soups. A proud sponsor of local high school sports. Stop by today. Community First Bank and Trust is now offering 6.0 annual percentage yield CDs for 9 months with a minimum deposit of $500. Limited time offer which may be changed at any time. APY accurate as of announcement date for personal deposits of less than $100,000. Interest penalty for early withdrawal. WOHL Limas Fox Station congratulates all student athletes playing in the 1999 football playoffs.
Welcome back to Salinas Stadium. Our football game is over. Regional champions Delphos St. John, 68-15 is our final score. Time for our post-game show brought to you by the Commercial Bank, where you are always a winner. And when you talk about winners, you talk about the Blue Jays, 42 games in a row now. And time for our player of the game tonight. It was picked by head coach Ken Schreiner of the Ottawa-Glandorf Titans. And we had a lot of great candidates tonight. But Sean Ardner has been chosen as our player of the game because Sean really impressed the coach with some very good hard hits, and he also had an interception tonight. Good job, Sean.
Thanks. We had a good game tonight. Defense came out and had a great game, and offense came out and had a great game too.
This pump you up any other game that you played this year? More incentive or what?
Yeah, I was a little nervous tonight when I came out. It kind of surprised me. Come out and there were so many people out here. But once the kickoff was happening, I was ready to go.
You guys are just 2 games away now.
That's right. I'm ready.
And we heard that Coldwater got beat tonight. Yeah. Marion Local was in the lead. I haven't heard the final score, but looks like they're in as well. St. Henry in. Mac doing pretty well overall.
Yes, they are. It just shows how our small school conference is really good. Hopefully we can play Marion Local in the finals, hopefully, if we get there.
Okay, buddy. Got a player of the game T-shirt for you from Coach Schreiner. Congratulations there. Hold that up for the camera there, Sean. And again, Sean Ardner, our player of the game. We'll let you go, buddy. Congratulations. We'll see you next week, okay? You can head out. We'll talk now to Todd Schulte, the head football coach, first year head football coach. And something, Todd, that I think that, we mentioned several times during the broadcast this